Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she Karen Civil when she keep on turning head. Cause when she walk that thing jiggle. And we going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back, flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back, flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back, flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my bag, flow. Back in my, yeah, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this my, back in my bag, flow. Back again, yeah, we keep on stacking it, what's happening? Everything in Gucci got me feeling like I'm dapper then. Life has been a movie, yeah, so shout out to the cameraman. Pull up to the scene, it's going down like an avalanche. Steady going up like a travel plan. Homer Simpson face, lucky power plant, yeah.
I most heartily recommend Cheetos, cheese-flavored puffs. They have real cheese flavor and come in two kinds of crunches, baked to a delicate crunch and quick fried to a crackly crunch. Cheetos, cheese that goes crunch.
Can y'all hear me? What is going on, guys? Welcome to an early start of Friday Night Flicks. I saw there were people in the chat. I was back here trying to throw things together and figured, let's just go. How are y'all doing? Let's do it. Awesome to see everybody. Awesome to see everybody. I'm going to go through here and give some quick hellos. Wow, y'all have been chatting it up. I love it. I love it. Marco was in here early. He always is. Welcome, Marco. I don't know if you're back yet. Neil McKenzie, channel member. Howdy, howdy. My brother, Bama Ninja, lives right up the street from me, and we never see each other. I've got to change that soon. Good to see you, Bama Ninja. Brother Timmy. We got B Shady 22. If you're not following B Shady 22 on Instagram, y'all remind me to share his page here in a second. He has the killerest pocket drops. Anyways, my man, the myth, my buddy, Ed Harrison. Good to see you, brother. I hope you are doing well. Always great to see you, and thank you for being a channel member. Bluetooth Blades, channel member, good to see you, buddy. What is up? What is up? NFK 2026. I got a new phone. I can't remember my login for my other account. NFK 20, it's you, my man. I like it, dude. You know, I would have figured that out. I figured 2026, you're planning for the future if you can't remember the login. But if you've got the email attached to it, do forgot password. You can reset it in a snap. I'm going through kind of an interesting first time nobody in the YouTube creator groups dealt with it. I'll share it with you in just a second. Just in time, channel member, yo, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And you guys, they're channel members. If you're awake, if it's convenient, stop by at 11 o'clock Central tomorrow for the members live. We always keep them under an hour. I usually let 15 minutes go by for people to get in there. We do a giveaway. Y'all can bounce. Y'all can hang for a little while, but I always keep them under an hour because I know people are busy and their other lives. But join us at 11 o'clock tomorrow, at least for the first 20 minutes, just in time. You never know. We usually have between 17 and 18 people, so the odds are very, very good. YouTube Bluetooth Blades, I think you join sometimes, but I know it's kind of an off time. And I'm assuming those tiles show up for you guys. Lord Needham, another one who we will go to his Instagram page shortly, because if you're not following him on Instagram, you're missing classic knife content. This dude is as good as they get, brother Marco Scamma. It is so good to see you. Guess what I got, Marcos? I traded for it only because a community brother had two of them. I missed out originally, but I finally got my little Chewy to go with my burnt relic plaque. and some of my amazing Joe Isabella art. Next level stuff. Very next level. He does stuff that's not just be up, but he does things. This is the closest thing I had to a Chewy, and Joe made this. It's a little Chewy, and it's got be up and a heart, and it's slick on the back. I keep it on the table. But yeah, always be up. We always be trying to be the best to be up. They're speaking of the devil, or speaking of the angel, there he is. Channel member Joe Isabella. His ears were burning. We were talking about him. Angelo, channel member, what is going on, brother? It's good to see you guys greeting each other. Yeah, but I've had a weird thing happen to me. Angelo, good to see you again. Ed's in the house. Channel member, what's up, Ed? Stop by for 15 minutes tomorrow if you can, buddy. That's kind of the deal with the little channel member lives that I do on Saturday mornings. I give it 15 minutes for people to get in there, throw a random word up, unless everybody wants to do the number game. There are about 18 to 20 of us. We do a giveaway. Y'all are free to go, or we can hang for, inside an hour. I don't want to cut into anybody else's time. But y'all definitely take advantage of that and stop by. It's one thing I'm able to do right now, and give back to you guys. And I want to make sure that the most of you that are able to participate. True dude, what's up, my man? We will bring back an old tradition from the earlier 50 Javon's Friday Night Flicks. We will do pocket checks tonight because I'm just curious. Hearn, I'm glad you are here, buddy. If anybody gives you any trouble, don't take it personally. As a matter of fact, I feel like I trust you. I might be making a mistake here, but with great power comes great responsibility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a wrench so nobody throws you into timeout for no reason. Because they do that kind of as a term of endearment to kind of, welcome you in. But some people take it as, I found a great place to be. I don't want to get thrown in timeout. But if you start taking advantage of your wrench, which I would never think you would do, just be kind, enjoy the community. You are now safe from persecution from Brother Shane Gables, who loves everyone, but the way he shows his love is sometimes a little different than everybody else. I've skipped to the bottom, guys. Geo Knife, Addicted to Blades too. What is up? Paul Mills said Geo Knife. Ironically, Geo Knife has been supposedly sending me a knife, but then I had Chinese New Year. Now it's allegedly going out to check out, and I've seen some thumbnails with it on there. It looks like a decent knife. I'm curious. They were one of 2 companies that approached me. All the other companies I approach. But if you guys ever look at my beacons, my links, you'll notice it hadn't changed on my bio page. But if you notice, you'll see there are a shitload of links gone. Blade HQ's gone. I took Kaiser off, took Vosted off, took Concept off, took Polish Custom Knives off, took EMP EDC. Basically, everyone who used ShareSell as their platform. So what happens is advertisers or affiliates are looking for people to, if they buy Chavez from River's Edge Cutlery. River's Edge Cutlery has their own affiliate program where I can go put in a link. If someone goes and buys something from them, the channel gets a little percentage back. It's totally above board. But, and I put this in the YouTube group, no one else has ever had it happen. Last week, I went to log on to my ShareSell, which is one of the bigger ones that has all those companies that I mentioned, plus others like Knives from Less or something that I don't ever really buy from. So I don't use them as a link. But they banned me. They told me I had violated terms. They found irregularities in my account, which all I ever use them for you guys that don't know, is you go in, for example, if I go to Blade HQ's website and I pull up the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and I copy that link from Blade HQ. Then I go over to the share cell platform and I post that link into a link generator, and it generates a link that's that link, but it's got a custom identifier that ties it to me, kind of like a cookie. Um, so there's nothing I could do shady or sneaky. And they said I violated their terms and conditions. I was on text with Kevin for a long time, Lefty. He's never had that problem. Now, we've all had problems with link services, because of knives, but I wouldn't think that it would be an anti knife thing because the advertisers that they've at least solicited up to this point are knife companies, along with a ton of other companies, right? They're probably a blooming 3,000 companies that sell everything from shoes to sex toys to camping gear to knives to cooking utensils to vitamins to hemp gummies, you name it. We could shill anything we ever wanted to, and I will never shill anything that I don't believe in, which brings me up to something that I'm excited about. Ever since I did my first real rescale, I did this pair too. Well, my first titanium rescale on a Spyderco knife, it was on my Manix 2 because I found these scales at Rock Scale Design a long time ago, like 3 years, and they were linerless. So they allowed me to take out those liners that so many people that get the Manix 2 love, but I was using it more for an EDC city knife, and I liked it smoothed out, right? It's still got jimping here, still got jimping here. It's just a fantastic knife. And these are Rock Scale Designs, early pattern. I want to say I forget what's the name of the pattern, but I ordered these, put them on, really liked them. I love original goat scales, and I'll probably do a video pointing out the difference because I also like applied weapons technology scales like I have on my Benchmade. I wish I'd gotten the ribbed instead of the smooth. But then when I traded with Justin, OCD for EDC, for his Spyderco exclusive, and I see you guys that are members, and I'm going to hit every one of you and give you huge love in just 2 seconds. But when I traded with him for this, I went back to Rock Scale Designs and bought these scales. And I forget what pattern they are, but they're kind of a scaly pattern. But I've reached out to them, and I have several times, and they're going to send me a set of pair of 2 scales for probably my S110V, because the one I bought from Keith the Knife Freak, the Tanto, has A Purvis scales on it. And I bought this from a friend, and I kind of want to keep it the way he had it set up. So I'm probably going to mod this guy, and I'll either do it live one afternoon or I'll do a video on it. Spydercos are very easy to put scales on, but they can be tricky. They're things like the pivot size, for example. Things that you just want to look out for, and I'll try to point that stuff out in the video. And the only reason I know that is because I've torn them up. I've had to get screw sets, which the great thing about Spyderco is you can go to Etsy, you can go to Spyderco directly. You can always find hardware for your knife, which is a great thing. Crispy Critter, good to see you, brother. I'm going to do something real quick. I don't know if this is going to work. Whoops. I've got this little app. I've been telling you I've had the dual monitor problem because I don't have a dual monitor. So I've got this iPad app, iOS app, that allows me to go in here and look. Fed Harrison has been a member for 24 months. I have to go up here to put him on the screen, which he's more than deserving of. That's 2 freaking years. That's as long, I think, as I've been. 23 months. Unbelievable, Fed. And I know a lot of y'all, Kyle Coonley unsubscribed from me last week because I play it, but I do the man love thing. I'm sorry, guys. I love you, buddy. Thank you, Fed. We got brother Bluetooth Blades, who just turned a year supporting Javon's Knife Flakes. This little channel, guys, I started this 2020, 2021, because I knew I was going to be doing some stuff with the Knives Live. So I would have to have a platform to stream from, like at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I started uploading shorts. That's what got me in the shorts game because I had to have some content on my channel that would identify me as somebody who had a knife channel. And it literally I never expected it to even get monetized, much less get bigger than it has. And again, it's just because most of my subscribers come from all the shorts I put out. So I do this thing. I'm a digital marketing guy, so I go for reach. So with shorts, I can get way out of my subscriber base. But if you'll look at my regular videos, the views are pretty short, pretty consistent. They're you guys. I get the same amount of people in lives every week, and I love that. That's why I don't announce giveaways. When we do giveaways, I don't want to draw people in for that stuff. I want to surprise with those. I want them to go to the people that are here. But it's just been, I'm so thankful for all y'all support. You guys that have supported the channel, like Ed or like Bluetooth Blades for 12 months, for a year. You don't understand how much that humbles me and how it makes me want to make that video when this live's over during said faction for tomorrow. Because I'm at the point now where I'm making them like 11th hour. It just works best like that. I've always worked best under pressure. But I know what I'm filming. It's going to be a cool video. I urge you guys to watch it. I'll share it with you. I picked it up last week at Rocket City Knife Show. This is a gentleman called Mud Dog Forge. He's either out of Alabama or Tennessee. I want to say Tennessee. I talked to him for a very long time. This is the smallest in his collection. You guys know me. I buy little knives. But he makes bowies. He makes pig stickers. This knife in 80 CRV2 with micarta handles, he makes all of this in his shed with this sheath that he makes in his living room, that he makes one for each knife. So he had like 9 of these. And when he was trying to find the right sheath, he wanted to make sure it was the one that retained right, that was made for this knife, that was formed for this knife. But the way that the buckle's done is you've got 4 bolts to where you can rotate it and make it carry vertically or make it carry scout like I've got it set up. But what I'll probably do with it is take the leather off, put the bolts on one side and put an ulti clip on the other and use it just as an ultimate pocket dropper. But this thing, the show special on it, handmade by one guy who made both the sheath and the knife, was $150. And I was glad to support him. The other thing I picked up there was $200, but this is a driver defense, smaller version of his splinter called the Ricochet, which is a handmade knife right outside of Gunnersville, Alabama, which is about 45 miles from me. This is MagnaCut, G10 scales, G10 liners. Kind of gives me that old school Griptilian vibe, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Kind of that vibe. But I went to that little knife show. I went at 9 o'clock in the morning, expecting to go through and shoot a few booths. Didn't plan to buy anything. Wasn't in the position to buy anything. Was not going to buy anything, and walked out of there $300 lighter, $350 lighter. And I was there for 45 minutes, and that was just because there was another table that I really, really like. And maybe if we have time, if I remember, if I don't squirrel brain, I'll take you to the Instagram of this. And y'all might have heard of this company, but this guy's out of Fife, Alabama. He does a lot on social media. I'd never heard of them before. It's called W. Gwynn Knives. And what I notice sometimes when you look at a lot of different knives are the complexity of people's grinds, not necessarily grinds I would go out and buy because I wouldn't want to sharpen them, but they're done so well. You go, wow, that's another level. Oh my gosh, I've got to get back to, we got Crispy Critter. I don't know if I gave the love to, Crispy Critter has been a member here for 19 months. Guys, you don't know how much that means. I mean, just to, if that's too loud, let me know. I'll turn it down, but I appreciate y'all so much. I don't want to blow a kazoo. I don't want to hit the applaud button. I don't want to hit an air horn. That's all done. I don't want to bring my guitar over here and run y'all off. I thought about doing that though. Be Shady, a member for 18 months. Dude, you're well over a year. Thank you, brother. I'm gonna have to give you man hugs, so turn down if it's too loud or tell me. I can make all our effects quieter. Now you won't be able to hear this guy.
My baloney has a first name. It's OSC.
Are any of y'all old enough to remember that? I won't make you suffer through it. Crazy Roach has been a member for 13 months. Guys, again, I sincerely and can't thank you guys enough. And please, please, please come to the members live. Joe Isabella's coming on 2 years. Guys, again, and I know this is going to wear Kyle out. But I've quieted it down, and I don't even play the most sensuous man love part, which is really how I feel to each and every one of you. Because again, it does. I want y'all to come to the giveaways, and I want to eventually, like I've done once, and it didn't go bad, but I try to record this content where I sit at this chair and just set it to record and do like Yvonne's brain dumps. And I cannot get through one where I don't say something that I feel like is going to be misconstrued and somebody's going to get their feelings hurt or somebody's going to watch it and think that it was about somebody. And I'm not doing, tabloid type stuff. I just, there are things that interest me, things that I'll question in the community. I don't want to question them to say good or bad, like the whole thing with the Eric and the Spyderco little thing. I thought that was fascinating. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I know that testing up to this point hasn't showed much to really support this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chinese foundries, knowing that they're much more state of the art, aren't making analogs of the steels that we all love better than we could get them here for. I don't know that. I'm just curious about it, right? So I like to ask questions. So that's kind of how my what I try to do, a weekly members brain dump, where I just have kind of these trains of thoughts about the knife industries, about things like, I don't know if y'all saw Greg Medford's video the day before yesterday, and I know he's a very polarizing figure, but he has lost not only a close part of his staff, but as he put it, a personal friend, one of his best friends. And I mean, he literally had tears in his eyes on the stream talking about how that all came to be. Just the guy got a better, it's the way business works. And unfortunately, he was saying, this is a guy that we worked together every day. We hung out together on our free time. We had a lot of, our work life and our friendships, our social life were intertwined because we've done it together for so long. And you just feel for people like that. And there's so many different things going on in this industry that I think are exciting. I'm not pointing things out that are like, wow, that's curious. Because I want to go, oh, that's a bad thing. It's just like, wow, maybe, that's the answer to some of the shortages, some of the pricing. Who knows? And maybe it's something that has been happening longer in a equal trade kind of situation that we might not be aware of, that there's not that much surprise in the industry. I know several of us reached out. I reached out to one maker. A couple of other people reached out. One guy reached out to Crucible. We did not expect to hear back from them with all they were going through, but just to ask some basic industry perception questions. Scotch, the guitar man, the dog man, and the guitar man, three of my favorite things. Scotch, a dog. Scotch, I'm sending you a link. I hope you're watching movies with your lovely family, but I'm sending it to you to try to at least lure you away shortly. Scotch is always what I consider a voice of what's what I'm looking for. I think he's a good a voice of a Midwestern, built his business, works with a lot of people that depend on him and works hard, like with his hands. And I respect that. And he loves knives. And I think that's a cool thing. But here is the picture that I think sums up what I would consider to be bliss. You've got your best friend and you've got your American made. I forget which strat that is with that humbucker setup, but it's beautiful. Looks very Gilmore-esque. Scotch, I'm sending you a link now, but how long was your amp ready to ship, or were they were building it for you, right? Was it your amp being it's like a personal order, right? Go invite. Scotch. And Pocket Metal's got a link, but I know Fridays they go shopping and he's still a lot of times working. So I don't know if he'll join us, but I know brother Kyle Coonley is going to join us later. Paul Mills, my brother from another. I hope some of y'all won at Metal Complex. Aries, good to see you, buddy. And if y'all aren't following Aries EDC, and what I should do when I'm talking about this is go to, let me change my chat to all chat because I've trying to watch. Whoops. Nope. See what it's, you know what YouTube is trying to trick you into doing is set a goal. They want you before a live stream to set a goal for what you want to make in super tips, which I think's shilly. I think it's grifty. I would never do it. But they just made me click. I tried to get back to the live chat and it took me right to this. Set your goal. And YouTube gets most of that stuff anyway. So that's shady to me. But anyway, so I can see the chat. Evening, Mimo. Who else did I miss? I missed Paul Might, my brother from another mother. And I'm glad Hearn's in here and enjoying the community. I'm glad y'all are being nice to him. And Aries EDC is the one who has his YouTube channel, which I want to take you to first. I creep in his lives. I think he's probably aware of that, but I don't chat because I'm always doing something else. But I love watching him. I love watching Jacob at Very Good Knife Company. He's been doing lives almost every day. I love watching Donnie Bless at Bless Knives when he runs his lives, and Shane, because to me it's almost relaxing. I can sleep on the couch listening to those guys grind knives. I know that's weird, but it is what it is, right? So we're going to go. And y'all are all following Scott, but if you're not, he takes, what I think is cool about it is I don't make knives and I don't have the capacity. Like I would cut my fingers off without a doubt, trying to make a knife because I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm really not very guy-like when it comes to making shit. I'm just not good with my hands, but I love watching it. I find it not only cathartic, but fascinating. And Scott sits there and walks you through. If you were a knife maker, not only could you probably call Scott, but you could learn. I mean, Scott, I hope you know that you're putting out a huge service. Because I know that Shane, Edgy American, goes around and watches a lot of different lives and has learned a lot from just seeing how other people do it. And I just think it's a very cooperative. It seems to me, from what I've heard from people like who has helped Shane with heat treat questions and just been very straightforward, and they're very busy people. And just it seems like there's a lot more cooperation than competition. And I like to see that. I think that's kind of, I'd like to think that was kind of an idealistic thing that's maybe spawned off the community, because we know from the drama that's occurred in the last few days that we don't have to talk about, but that there's always going to be drama in a community. But if you look at what a community is, it's a group of people who come together for companionship over either something, a hobby that bonds them, or conversation that stimulates them, or a place where they feel comfortable to hang out, right? That's what, if you foster a healthy community, you get a good group of people that like to come back and converse with each other and get to know each other and just talk shit and have a good time. And I just think with any platform, but with YouTube especially, it gives you a place to do that. And I think that's cool. And I can't imagine. I don't know if y'all know what IRL streaming is. That's something that I watch because I'm an idiot. But IRL streaming is some of these people that are doing in real life streaming through Kick, all the menace streamers you see. And these people have their chat moves like so fast. And so many 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds are consuming this crap. But it's just absolutely insane. And I would never want to promote my live streams to get more than 40 to 50 people that we get, because we get the same people. And I love Fousey Tubes. I love watching them crash out. I'm all aware of the Fousey cycle that Keemstar put out there. Yeah, I watch that crap. I'm bad. I'm also in the Dabbleverse, which is bad. Or the shit verse, as it's sometimes called. Which link's that, Bubba? Which link, Wes? The link I put up for Aries, or you need a Sharpening link for Klingenworks? Dude, since I haven't been working, and see, the weird thing is, when I first started, I'd been working in corporate America for 13 years. And then when the pandemic hit, that's when I got into YouTube content. So I would always watch YouTube knife content. Well, as things moved on and years went by and I started making content, I don't watch as much knife content, but my main form of broadcast, if you want to call it entertainment, is YouTube shit. And I've fallen into the brain rot category. And YouTube's algorithm's very effective at feeding me more brain rot. And me being a junkie, I gobble that shit up like Pac-Man eating little white dots. What's up, Kyle Coonley?
Nothing, just came in here to end the live stream if you keep playing that shit.
Dude, I've had people support this channel 23 months. It blows me away, because I know the channel, I guess, has been around for longer than 23 months. But that's the OG shit right there.
Absolutely.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I got questions for you, dude. I was hoping you didn't have anything prepared. I have not really questions, but I think I have learned that the reason I wasn't getting the results I was used to off my blitz is all the stones. The difference in a diamond plate and a Veneve stone that's broken in, right? I was just getting cleaner edges, not getting as much any blade slurry because I'm doing them dry. So I've gone back to 4-inch stones, and I got my little Giant Mouse Atelier Super Sharp, and the bevel under my mic looks great, right? I think I did it at 18.5.
Okay.
So I've actually got a knife out here, but where I struggle, dude, and it doesn't have to be a drastic sweeping tip. It can be a very gentle tip. And I know that we've talked about, you feel, if this makes sense, your stone kind of rolls just a little bit following that curve because it's supposed to, of the blade. But Are you fine? Am I just maybe not spending enough time? Because I'm trying to put no pressure on the screen
Let me
outside
do
of the
this.
radio sounds.
Let me change my cam angle, and I'll try to get closer so I can do a close up of it. 1 second.
And I can take mine off because mine you can barely see. I've got to put it under different lights when I usually shoot. Kyle went away. Come back, Kyle. Scott, you got a link, buddy. It's in your IG, my friend. Let me just make sure. Hold on. I was just on your messages. That's hit the like button. Hey, remember the other night? Y'all might not remember because y'all might not have been here, but I was trying to show Pocket Metal this dude who's a hippie who talks about on Instagram people being sissies. Have y'all seen this guy? He's called IDGAFOODS. This guy's funny.
With no experience, even when everyone told me not to, because I also have oppositional defiant disorder. Please listen to my song. Delicious. Don't be a pussy. I don't give a
Let me show you a good one where he's actually doing something that
I don't give a fuck if they're calling this margarine an industrial waste product. I used to smoke angel dust in the basement of a trap house in the north end of Hartford, where I do gymnastics on a lolly column for hours at a time, and then head back to my grandmother's house and chug whole milk till I felt somewhat normal again.
he's just funny. He mocks he mocks just food. Where'd Kyle go? Kyle's coming back, hopefully. But y'all should follow that IG Foods guy. I mean, he's very, very funny. And I don't think he's got any kind of agenda except being an old hippie. But some of his stories about, yeah, if you think these are bad for you, Pocket Metal, that's the guy I was talking about. You don't think he's funny? Dude, he's just that dude is a freaking wasteoid. You should see when he talks about having to go up in the mountains and hide and smoke crack because he knew the FBI was after him. And then he eats off the concrete.
All right, is that better? You can see a little.
Yeah, you're close up, you're back. You still got that huge monitor way above your head?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
I need to take off my. I didn't have to, but I took it off so I could charge my angle key.
And on a pocket knife, a regular Kaiser, I know you don't sharpen Kaisers, but just a regular a spider cut would be lower. You do a lot of 18, 17 degrees. Regular pocket knives, or what are you looking at?
It depends. Anywhere from 19 to 21 typically, but sometimes if it's a thin grind or if I want it slicier, I'll go a little lower. It all depends. But
well, and I'll tell you, what I've gone back to 20 and 21, I'm getting slicier blades than I am when I try to go to what I used to sharpen everything on. Pocket Metal, you got a link too, brother. In your Instagram, you got one earlier today. Come join. But I want to see, because what I do is I'm going left to right. I'm using my scope. I've got a light that I take over there, one of my camera lights that's battery powered. So I've got a ton of light that I can see under my a little loop really good. And I'm getting most of that blade just perfectly burred, perfectly around that turn. And then about 1 inch to the tip, it doesn't seem like I'm ever getting to that burr. If that makes sense.
Go back to, are you talking like drop points? Or are you talking more aggressive, more like Persians? Or
no? Look at the little knife I've got in here now. This is a pretty basic drop point. Can you see that Kaiser?
real well. I can see the handle. I can't see
let me shine this light on the blade. It's a very
A clip point
very
kind of.
modest clip point.
Okay.
But I still have trouble with that, and I use the finger trick, and then I'm good enough where I can do half a stone, especially when I'm using 4 inches, where I'm not going to go over and round it.
Let me find something with a similar shape. And
I was just curious if there's a trick or if it's just more time. I'm just not spending enough time.
No, that's more. Sorry, I'm just trying to find one. I have a lot of. Okay, this will work.
Scotch is coming right now, dude. I just saw that. That was February 4th, that link. Hold on 2 seconds.
All right, so we'll start off with this guy.
I mean, because you've gone through very thoroughly how you go about, keeping your grind pattern the same, what you look for. And for some reason, I feel like I've come up everywhere except in my tip, regardless of the shape of the tip. I'm intimidated by them.
So, that's too far back still. Let me get there.
See it right there.
All right. So, do you need more light?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, can y'all see? Let me make you bigger. There's no need for me to even be in here. I'm gonna make you solo. Looks like that's a Kubi. Tedious.
Yeah, it's the Tedious.
That's a great knife. Your silence tells me you're not a fan.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I was trying to get.
What's going on with Stephen Wallace?
There we go.
I want to be able to not sharpen like you sharpen. I just want to be able to maintain my stuff and get it back to, because I was pretty competent on my 360. I was competent enough to sharpen A to Z blades. So that was a pain in the ass.
Just a simple thing.
We're gonna sit back here for just a second, brother.
Who?
You and me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. You guys do your thing. Sorry, I'm listening to
What's up, Scotch?
Witty and Super Steel go at it.
Oh, they're talking now?
Fucking live, and
let's go
it's
here.
the same bullshit from Super Steel.
We'll
couldn't have
snipe
told
it.
me.
Hold on, let me snipe it. Is it on USA or on Steam?
Yeah, Instagram.
All right, I'm on Instagram. USA Witty live now.
That's exactly what we need.
No, we're not going to it. I'm just saying I don't see that it's live.
I
don't see that it's live.
Things for the community.
Are you watching a replay?
No, it's live right now.
On USA Made Blades.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I guess they're split screening it. Fuck, I don't know.
So it might be on Steve Kalari Custom too.
Yeah.
That's the old one he did today.
All right.
That's not it.
For another deal.
That's not it. All right, I'm gonna go to Steve.
Fuck, dude. This is.
Send me the link. Send me the link in the private chat or somewhere, or you can send it to my Instagram, and I'll share it. We'll just watch it. I sent Steve a really nice message today, and I know y'all have different feelings about that. I talked to Shane about it before I sent the message.
Hold on.
I've got it if you want it.
The link?
With the live, I can just play it.
Oh, yeah. Sure, dude, if you want to. I don't want you to have to. I'm happy to do it. But, yeah, you can throw it in there. I just couldn't find it. Let me stop.
This is – everybody's like, oh, quit with the drama. But I don't know this guy like you guys know him. I know Shane's friends with him.
I've broken bread with him twice.
May 20th. So we're 8 months ago.
Yes.
And I send you a text.
And I know shit
running
happened.
over 5 months now. You come in, you say, Jesus, I didn't realize it was that long. I'm sorry. I'll have them done week after Blade.
I'm not seeing video.
My screen.
Okay. Did you burn up another batch?
No, I didn't have it.
God damn it, I turned it off.
What's interesting is,
hang on, let me try it again.
like Woody said, this could have been handled so many different ways. Steve, not everybody's brain works the same. A lot of times artisans don't think and have the best business sense.
Look, and I shouldn't say anything because like I said, I don't know this dude.
You haven't really, have you?
After 4 or 5 years of watching this guy from afar, he's got a history.
He's got a history of looking out for the community.
He wanted to fly to California to fight Red Wolf EDC.
But that's his. If you see Steve in person versus his internet persona, you realize that there is a huge difference between how people sell themselves and how they are. He was the kindest dude.
Javon,
why aren't you coming up here, Pocket Metal? You got a linky link.
He was grocery shopping. He'll try to
later. 90 seconds to talk about this real quick.
Sure.
All right, and I'm not going to bring it up again. And
I'll slip out.
No.
No, I gotta go say hi to the wife. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So help me out.
Well, no, I can talk about what you guys were talking about Steve, but I don't want to get into whatever. I mean,
no, none of us have all. I mean, we all know it was a fucked up thing. Steve even admits that from things I found out today.
With any of them, so I mean,
he'll make it right. I think he'll get Whitty a check, and they might not do business anymore, and it might hurt Steve temporarily. He should have handled it a lot sooner, probably, but he probably thought he could get caught up. Yeah, that's a lot of drama. It's well worth it, and it wasn't just Whitty. You could tell his wife was lockstep there, and I'm sure that was a really tough video to make. I'm not taking sides. I just know.
Right. So here's my stance on it. You're only as good as your word, and unfortunately, even as much good as he has done, this was, to me, indefensible. So I think at this point,
would you think it was indefensible if he'd communicated through the hardships? Not at all. Or sent the 10 knives. I don't know why he didn't do that unless he had them already sold out because he was trying to get enough to make the rest of the batch.
That's what I'm getting to. So I think if he makes amends and makes it whole and moves on and tries to do better, then over time, then you can build that back.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that anyone is necessarily, he didn't come out and was like, just screw you, I'm not doing anything. So if he did,
unless you're saying that on the live now, send me the private link for that or drop it in the private chat. Do you know how to do that?
My point is, I think, and my opinion is not worth anything. I know that, but
yes,
I think that if he makes it right,
which anybody else is,
then they can part ways amicably and move forward.
Absolutely.
I don't think that I'm not a fan of Blade Binge. We know that, but I think it sucks that they're getting pulled into this because it had nothing to do with them. And
Whitty came in and apologized for that today. He did a video earlier today.
It doesn't matter. You had all those people hopping on there and just bad mouthing and saying, don't buy his knives.
And he asked him to go take those comments down because they were not. He didn't realize when he made that comment that they bought knives like Whitty did. He thought that Steve was just using the platform to drop those 75 blades.
They were getting wholesale. Yeah. So, but still, I mean,
it's still,
good,
exactly.
Good regardless, but
especially the day before drop.
Anyways, I think it's been aired.
I was playing for that day.
It's been aired. I think now it's between them to make amends. And if he doesn't make amends, then there's some other issues. But the issue now, I think, is between them and needs to be left alone. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it unless Woody comes back and is like, "Hey, nothing is happening," or
he's made it right. We've come to agree.
Right. I'm saying that's the only thing I think we need an update on is if it's not been made right. Otherwise, let it do its course.
And I can tell you, I'm not a betting man. I don't gamble.
I agree, Paul.
But I bet you, I know Steve Kalari from only spending a combined probably 4 hours with him over 3 blade shows. And one was at dinner with about 7 other people, but we sat right real close to each other. And he was helping my buddy A to Z look at a couple of kitchen knives that he'd bought. and he was making some recommendations to take one back, which he did the next day because it was a little curved. But he was being really nice, you know. He was taking time. Totally different personality, much smaller guy than he comes across on video. He's my size in height, like 5'6" probably, but a really well versed. I don't know if it's true because I don't know how it works. Kyle, you would. I'd love to hear the two of you have a conversation. But Shane seems to think a lot of his cred for what he does in terms of making things when he delivers them, right? I think he'll make this right. I hope so. I think there's one way to do it, and that's to get the man a refund, and just move on. And if you got those knives made, like I told Shane yesterday, sell them retail. You'll come out better in the end, and people are scammering for your knives right now. I mean, he's a great maker. My buddy AZ has 3 kitchen knives from him.
The
Nearly
only
$1,000 worth.
It's going to be a tarnish for a little while. He's going to have to take that bullet and just ride it out. I mean,
well, he needs, unless he comes across, if they're talking now, that's a good thing, because even Whitty said today that he's letting it die after today because he's getting a lot of negative flack from people that are taking Steve's side. Not that you can take Steve's side, but just telling Whitty, you could have gone about this a different way. Steve's, you know, gotten behind. Sure, it's unacceptable. Sure, you feel like you were put behind because you were other bigger orders. You have the right to be pissed, but at the same time, you know, knife makers, no offense, Shane, they're not traditionally the most stable individuals.
No, and that's something that we've discussed till, you know, the day is long. Don't take deposits. If you can't do it, don't take deposits because it puts you in a bad position.
But he did it the first time. He made the 10 knives in 2 months.
Right. But my point is, if something comes up and you can't deliver, then you're SOL, and that looks bad for you. And you need, at that point, you need to be able to either refund or replenish, one of the two. And when you can't, then, you know, you put yourself in a no-win situation.
You really need to 99%
of the time, those guys with deposits aren't putting that money in the bank account, letting it sit.
Right. Well, you need a small bank because you've got to fund the build. I mean, you can't just plan to pull that out of your pocket. I know some have, and that's a way to start. But if you're doing bigger batches, you've got to be able to cover. I think a 50% deposit's fair.
No.
But I don't see how you'd get behind. I don't see how you would, unless you did something not the best business decision and you did not have the funds to complete the order and you were trying to get ahead and using profit to build back the order, but that still requires a lot of more communication than you ever want to give. And you just got to be willing to have it. Nobody wants to have those calls. Believe me, I've been in business for over 20 years. I've had so many, I hate to tell you this, calls to people that just freaking suck.
The issue is it comes down to, I'm not pointing fingers here, but anytime anyone makes a mistake, you, me, the next person in line, it needs to be accountability, needs to be a step forward, admit it right away, make a solution and move forward instead of waiting for and pushing it down the line until someone, you know, blows the gasket.
Right. And he could have known that point was there and thought that if he could get it out this week. I don't know where he is with the knives. I don't think Whitty thinks he has the knives. I don't think Shane thinks he has the knives. I'm just guessing. I'm not saying that. But do you have that link? Because I can't find it anywhere on Instagram.
It's not letting me do anything with it.
Can you still show it?
It's still showing us live, but when I have my Instagram up, it's not allowing me to
share it.
Yeah.
Do this when you go to present, instead of hitting the website, see if one of the windows shows your player. If not, don't worry about it because the audio is good.
I just posted the link in the chat.
So when you hit present, you've got a little box. You've got like the websites, Instagram being one of them, which is usually all I do when I share a reel, but I've never shared it live. They might have that capped. But there may be one of the tabs that shows it.
Communication and flat out lying. If you're
I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, let's just listen to this for a sec.
Yeah, it's not letting me do the video.
I'm trying to, Greg. I've been trying to.
Next month. Every time it was, I'm almost done.
Who's Greg? Whitty?
Another month would go by. Another 2 months would go by. nothing.
So I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you should have said, "Hey, man, I'm really fucked up right now. It could be 6 months."
Witty, look at me, Witty. When I told you I thought I was going to be done, I thought I was going to be done. If I thought it was going to be 6 months, I'd have just said 6 months.
But no, at no time did you have the respect to hit me back and to say, "I thought I was almost done."
I did. You just read the messages, Witty. You read them all out loud.
The time you communicated was when I communicated with you. At no time.
Do you want me to hit you? What do you want me to, Witty?
I'm months away.
What's the call schedule, Witty?
It was
what's the call schedule?
Hard. I'm almost done. They're almost done.
I said that over and over again.
6 months,
So,
8 months, 3 months.
Can everybody hear that?
So you're mad at me because I didn't text you and tell you the same thing that I responded to you.
Guys, I read the text.
Yes, you read them all. You heard me say over and over and over and over and over again that I was trying to get them done.
Yeah, but let's just go right back to it.
And they're talking publicly, which I don't agree with, but where'd they go?
I don't know. Because it's not playing video.
Rose, see what happens if you started again. Because we're back at square one, which some of us that have been behind.
I'm hitting
Are you
reload.
finding that on USA Made Blade site? Because I'm on their Instagram, dude.
No, I was on
Steve's?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me hear. I'll find it. I'll pull it up here.
It's not.
Here, I got it right here. So Steve was, I don't see his live either. Where do they show live? On these people's pages. Is it on Steve Kalari's Customized, or that's his business? Or is it on
Instagram? It's like where everyone has their stories. Go to the very top. It'll be up
yeah,
there.
but this must be a different. He must be on his other page. He says, what's his other page? Backup account of Chef Kalari. It's probably on Chef Kalari. Let me go there. Take me to Chef Kalari.
I don't know. I think they should have handled it
Behind the scenes.
personally. Yes.
But that's not how either one of them like to do, really, as bad as that is. See, maybe he got his other shit banned.
It's still not letting me do video.
No, it's not. I mean, usually it shows me a red ring when they're live.
I got it. Just not.
Let me make sure I'm on the right page. I'm going to share my screen anyway. So he's got two pages. He's got Chef Kalari and he's got the Steve Kalari Custom Knives. Nothing's going on there. Nothing
It's all
live.
right, Javon. Don't worry about it.
No, I want to find it because I'm curious.
People
I
can
mean, I
watch
can
it
go
on
back
their
and
own.
watch it, but we'll get off of it for now. Anyway, I am here it is. He's live right here. I think
People got it. But I got it. Okay, sure. But I'm not a fucking thief and I'm not a goddamn scammer.
You still have $3,500 of my knives, or $3,500 of my money, and
you paid me to make 20 knives. There's 20 knives out there.
Paid you to make 20 knives. The 10 knives that you made before that took you about 3 weeks to make, or a month.
Yeah.
And I think I made it very clear.
And guess what? It was the first time. I didn't fuck them up.
No, you didn't. You had them to me quick.
That's the difference. That's the difference, Witty.
Look, I've said my piece. I'm glad that you can at least admit that you fucked up.
You read the messages. I admitted I fucked up every other fucking message, Witty.
He did.
What do you mean I can admit I fucked up? I've said you read the fucking messages. I said it 10 fucking times.
Blaming the fact that you didn't make the deadline and didn't communicate anything back with me is my fault.
No, I didn't say no. I didn't say it was your fault. No, I didn't say it was your fault. If you're gonna blame me for not communicating, I can say the same thing about you on that. Again,
I think I communicated plenty, and I think I've been plenty patient.
100%, you've been plenty patient.
Here's the deal: you can you can either send me checks, which once I cash the check, that proves that you've paid me. That's simple enough. So, you know what? I know that your financial situation is rough. I'm certainly not trying to drain your account.
Don't throw me any sympathy now, Witty.
I'll give you a year. I'll give you a year. How's that? I don't want an extra dime. I don't want an extra penny. I don't want anything else out of you.
Oh,
you got
That's more than fair.
sell all 20 knives. You keep the profit on that side of it.
Hey, Witty.
Send me the.
Hey, Witty. Hey, Witty. Hey, Witty. How you want me to sell the knives after you just shit all over me? And you have a post shitting all over me.
5. You had no problem. Blade Binge had no problem selling 75.
Yeah, you're right. I did sell out. You're right.
Yeah. And congratulations. Look, man, I at no time during this have I shit on your knives. I've certainly shit on
No,
your,
you just shit on me as a person, Witty.
everything seems scammy. I haven't been happy with it.
I thought scammy was a hard word.
The fact that you dug this hole, whether or not you want to admit it or not, you can blame me for anything you want. You
I'm
can
not
be as mad at me.
Blaming you for shit, Witty. Stop trying to play the victim. I'm not blaming you for a fucking thing.
Keep in
I'm
mind,
giving
these
you a
guys have
year.
fought
I think
before.
that gives you plenty of time to build back, get integrity, communicate better with other people. Apparently, you're one customers that are going to pay you once the knife is done. You've done a spectacular job for them, so keep it up. You'll build your reputation. There's always plenty of drama in the knife industry. Something will bury this in 3 weeks, and you can.
I'm not worried about that.
I killed your reputation.
No, I didn't say you killed my reputation. I didn't say you killed my reputation. I didn't say you killed my reputation.
You just said, how am I going to sell them? You killed my reputation.
No. I'm making a point. If you didn't want the knives, but you want your money back, how is dragging me? So, there are people that have sent me posts saying that on Facebook, trying to blackball me, saying that I scammed you.
Yeah, they took what I put on here and made it whatever they want.
So
I can't control
that could directly affect my business. I didn't scam you.
You know what? You can join Facebook and go over there and defend yourself.
I'm not going to go over there and defend myself.
I didn't figure you would. And if
you see all the people in the chat, right? You see all the people in the chat, right? They don't give a shit.
I'm gonna write in there, hug
exactly. It out. You got plenty of customers. I'm not worried about you being able to sell knives.
Neither
so
am I.
Yeah, then quit making excuses. Sell the 20 knives.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to understand what the whole point of this was. If at the end of the day you didn't want the knives and you were just going to go, hey, just sell them anyway, why the fuck didn't you just say that?
I gave you a due date, a final due date that I was supposed to have, not get a tracking number, that doesn't work.
So I've got to interject
I was supposed
here.
to have
So I've got
20 knives by February
put myself
14th.
up here for just
You
a second.
said you would make it happen.
You said you wanted 20 knives in your hand.
They've got a history before they made knives together. They're kind of friends or were friends.
Got it.
So
I think it's time we both move past this. You got a year. Get the knives sold. Send me the check. The check is proof that once I cash the check, your bank gets a copy of it. My bank has a copy of it. If you want me to, when you send it, send a note that says, hey, can you please let everybody know that debt's paid in full? I'll be happy to do it.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So, I wish you luck in selling them. I wish you luck in your career. I really do.
Don't.
But no, I'm done with that. I'm ready to move on. I've got plenty of other knives to sell. You've got knives to make, and I'm not gonna keep arguing with you over the semantics of it. It doesn't matter. It's all out there. We've probably both looked pretty stupid for it. I'll take the apologies for that. I've already apologized to Blade Binge publicly on their page and privately. I didn't mean to, and it didn't hurt it at all. So
we
go out there.
We don't know that, Witty. We don't know that.
Here and shake hands and move.
We don't know that.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But go.
Greg, I'm not putting this on Scott, Greg. I didn't put this on Scott. I've said it ad nauseum. It was my fault. I've said it ad nauseum. It's my fault. Over and over and over and over and over again. It's my fault. What I'm here to say is that I'm not a fucking scammer and I'm not a fucking thief, because that's what you said and everyone's repeating.
I wish you luck, bud. Good night.
That's not very productive.
No.
That went swimmingly.
I think.
Well, you're still here.
I'm going to get some hate.
Yeah, Austin. I've never denied any of that. You guys, yeah, it's poor business. Whatever you want to say.
Y'all want to come and join?
Alex, you're not buying the knives.
No.
He's
Yes, but Greg, you're jumping in here and you're sitting here like I've owned it. He read like I've said it over and over and over and over. I don't have the money, you fucking idiots. If you were here before, you'd know that I don't have fucking $3,500 to just, or I would have done that a long time ago.
But you can in a year. That was more than I think fair.
Alex is the best lover.
I don't know if we're going to get any more guys.
I think it's done.
I think it's done too.
I did make it right, Austin. The knives are done.
It's not
They
made
did get
right.
shipped. All right.
The knives are done, Austin. I did. Shouldn't be selling knives. Appreciate the words of encouragement, Andrew. Yeah, I should. You're right. I should just build up a money bridge and then I'll get into business.
I've got mixed
Oh,
feelings.
you want to see the knives?
Again,
I don't think this is.
I know we're about to get out of here. I just want to see what we got, and not that it matters. But my whole thing when I was talking to Shane, if you've got the knives, sell them for retail, you'll do great. You can get your money back and just send it off.
AR Customs. What's the point of the picture? So let's say I sent him somebody else's pictures of their knives. What does it matter? What are you trying to say?
Well,
Yeah, it's just that's counterproductive, and it.
where'd Pocket Metal go? Wasn't he in here?
I don't know, but it did not shine a good light on him.
Say, look, enough with the all right, drama. All right, if you listen to the whole thing from a business owner's perspective, all right, Steve is a business, Witty is a business, and Steve he admitted in the thing. So this is going on this isn't Witty didn't out him over something that was a month.
No,
it was paid in full a year ago. All right, so. And then text messages, they go through them. And he said, hey, I screwed up the knives.
Evening, brother.
Here's what happens. You screw up that order, you still have to fulfill that order. You don't do other customer knives. I have to put money on the table. Well, you have to fulfill what you've been paid for. You don't do the blade binge order until you fulfill, it's the same thing in my business. Like if I have a customer and then I jump over that customer to go to the next customer, do you think that customer is going to be happy?
Not at all.
Or ever have me fucking back?
No, but it's poor business all around. But the problem
in all reality,
some people shouldn't be in business for themselves.
Don't you know that probably happens in every business? I come from in every knife company. I come from the woodworking where we would have to
Just
advance.
because you want to be in business for yourself doesn't mean you should be in business for yourself.
Scott,
correct.
Here's
correct.
the difference.
I agree with that.
Makers and artists aren't business people.
That's
Therefore,
true.
They need someone to help them on that end because they are not the best communicators. They are not the best.
They usually have ADHD or some other.
I'm not defending them, Scott.
Yeah,
I'm just saying unfortunately that's part of the business. I mean, that's part of our
runs a business owns like if you can't communicate, you don't deserve to be in business.
I said the same thing about
it might be your hopes and dreams to do that, but if you fucking can't do the simplest thing, then you're not doing any good for your family.
Devil's advocate, okay? Because I know him personally. Let's say that he got, I don't know. I didn't see all the text messages, and maybe he wasn't reaching out first, but maybe he felt like he.
And you know what? It wouldn't have been so bad if he didn't have a track record of being a giant.
I don't put the two of those together. I think that's kind of like.
No, dude. He's called out people for years, right?
Correct. But was he ever wrong?
Don't throw stones.
No, he's admitted that Witty's not
someone and
wrong.
then do the same thing though.
He's admitted that Witty's not wrong. So he knows he's in the position that he's put other people in. I think he's getting, and I don't think he would even say that he's above the karma that he knows he's receiving.
John, the only thing I would say is if he would have done this behind the scenes and with a little bit of grace, this probably would have smoothed over a lot faster instead of making both of them argue on the internet. It does not look good at all.
No.
And there's nothing defensible about waiting a year to
talked
do
about
that.
this with Shane and Donnie. Like,
no, I agree.
Donnie won't take money up front.
No, neither will Shane.
Shane rarely takes money up front because then you're working for, once you've taken that money, you're working for free.
Right.
We did that on a job last year and it sucked to go back 3 months later and work for free. Even though you've been paid for it, you're working for free at that point.
Right.
Scotch, but here's
it doesn't matter how it all washes out. You're working for free.
What, Kyle?
Said how many of these makers are banking that money? They're not. They're using it for the next project. So therefore, when they get stuck in a situation like this, they're SOL.
Yeah.
Which again goes back to the fact
that they
need someone to help them with the business.
It doesn't help sending a false tracking number.
I don't think it was a false tracking number. I think it's a tracking number that hadn't shipped. He just went back and showed a box of knives.
It was from 2 weeks ago, Javon.
2 days ago. The 14th.
No, the 14th.
When was the 14th?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago. My bad.
That's bad.
But still, I don't think
I don't care either way because I'm never going to buy. I'm not a customer of his. I've never been a fan of his.
No. I get that. I get that. And that's he's very polarizing.
You know what? I am a fan of USA Made Blade. I bought a lot of stuff through them. Woody's an awesome dude.
He's a very mild mannered.
Go to shows and buy stuff to jack up the prices. You know,
I will say this, Javon. Let me finish one thing real quick, and I'm done. I'm not necessarily cool with either one. I'm not biased either way because I respect Steve for what he's done for the industry, but I also see how his attitude affects and hurts a lot of things. Now with Witty, I respect what
maybe, and it doesn't help. Like Alex Steingraber, I sold my Lamia last night.
You sissy.
He came in. Sorry, he came in and told Witty to basically suck it up. There was a live stream last night too, but he came in and told Witty to suck it up and quit being a fucking baby.
Dude, don't let him make you feel.
Fuck that dude. I'm not gonna fucking keep his knife.
He's like that.
I know he's a prickly dude, and I knew that before that. But you're gonna tell a dude that also is trying to feed his family to just eat a $3,800 loss?
No, he's not
your
saying
buddy
that.
fucked someone over.
I doubt he was saying that. But think about this: when you've got somebody like Steingraber who's polarizing, I know people who dislike him.
He is, and
if you look at his knife, it's a good knife.
But when you're telling someone to take a loss in business that isn't their fault,
is he telling him to take a loss? What did he say? What was the quote?
He basically told Witty to suck it up and quit the drama, and he should just eat it.
Well,
so
and you know that's not necessarily, that might be a knife maker's perspective, and Alex isn't the average knife maker. I think Alex is operating in the black constantly, but that's the same type of, to me, and this is going to sound bad, so I'm sure people are going to send me DMs, but it's like people not wanting a Medford knife, which is understandable because of something that he did. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't change. And I know that some people connect with their knives differently, right? So if you don't connect with it anymore because you're pissed off, that's understandable. But I hate that you got rid of it and you didn't send it to me first.
What I was going to say was with Witty, it's not like,
I think that's pretty cheap for Lamia.
He's a USA Made Blades guy, 1931 Leatherworks, Brother Terry. What were you saying, Kyle? I'm sorry, I won't cut you off again.
So back to the whole non-bias thing. I think in this situation, there, like I said, it's indefensible. There's nothing that can be an excuse of why you didn't deliver in a year. Now, that being said, it's not like Witty's been the nicest guy forever. I mean, he had that whole shit with Brian that was not necessarily
Yeah, Jim and Brian talked last night, though.
I know they're upset, but I'm saying, but that wasn't the nicest way to handle it then. So
well, Brian ate
things,
his lunch, though. I don't think he goes that route much anymore.
What I was going to say is, it's not like both of them can't be hot-headed. I think if this would have been handled privately and with a little more grace on Steve's part, then things would have went smoother. But
I totally agree.
Here's the thing. You can't take advantage of people and then expect to get a free pass, especially when you're the guy known for calling people out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nicer person publicly and didn't have a history of being a giant douche weasel to everybody that pissed him off. He did a call out video the other day calling someone out, a YouTuber out.
Well, that guy deserved it, but yeah.
So
and that's the whole thing. That's always been how Steve's personality's been. And I can understand how karma and how the irony of this situation is karma coming back on him. And I think he'll be the first to admit that. I think what would have made it better is if he just communicated better throughout the process.
That's stage one. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be stage one, just keep Witty, even if you're sending him 2 or 3 knives at a time, that he can turn around and flip, right. And recoup some of that money.
Yep.
So, and hopefully it'll work out. And I think it will blow over. Cause look, Jake Hobeck's selling knives, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but the only thing, like I said, I think they should have been handled privately, and we shouldn't have been aware of the situation where he wasn't trying to do anything at all. Like he's made public that he has the knives. If he can sell them and pay him back, he was more than generous to give him a long time frame to pay him back. I think
I've known about this for a couple months.
Right.
I've known that he's owed him, and I didn't say anything because it's not part of me. And I know it ate Witty up because Witty's not USA made, or he's not Blade HQ. He's not Knife Center. He's a small one-man operation that has a family. He's not a corporate,
I understand.
And a sales guy. He's very small time.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I get it. And I just think that the more we shine light on something that now there seems to be somewhat of a resolution, it's just going to be.
Yeah. Everything's been done that can be done.
Yeah. I would like to see both parties made whole and just move over.
Michael Steve Kalari Customs, fantastic maker, not the greatest communicator, is kind of my take on the whole situation. But I don't think that he's a dishonest person who would have left Witty high and dry. I don't believe that. I don't believe his ego would let him, and I don't think his morals would let him, because I don't think Steve's a thief or a cheat.
I agree with that.
Well, as of right now, he's a thief.
As of right now, he got in a bad situation, and it is considered, you're right, depending on how you look at time frames. But
Scott, go back to this then. If we want to talk about this business-wise, was there ever a contract signed of when they're going to be delivered by?
I don't know. He went through every month. Like it was every month.
Regardless, so that's not a.
I'm sure there's a contract. I don't know.
There's not. He said there wasn't. That's why they had recourse in the
because they were friends, and they've done. And because they were friends, Steve probably felt he could fuck him over a little bit more because they were friends.
Well, and Steve also probably realized that in the first match,
they get a little more leeway, right?
Let's look at it a different way.
That's why you never go into business with friends.
Let's look at it a different way. Steve Kalari, struggling knife maker. He sold Witty the first 10. I don't know what they cost, but Steve might know that more than covered the $3,800. And he might have, unfortunately, subconsciously put Witty on the back burner and then had burned up knives and not planned for it to go that long. And then had to play catch up. I mean,
but also, but then you have to, I burned up knives. But when the guy's on the internet saying he's the greatest knife maker, heat treater,
shit happens though.
Yeah, shit happens on that.
That's you can't. You just gotta.
Yeah, the bad heat treaters would descale those knives and sell them.
But here's the other thing, and I hate doing this, but okay, if you burned up 20 knives,
I think we totally agree there,
the cost of 20 knives and steel is nowhere near $3,800. There's no reason that you couldn't eat that and move on.
Yeah, because Shane's already proven what I don't know what knives they were making.
It just depends on what his debt for his machinery and stuff like that is every month. So you've got to think about expenses besides just materials.
No,
I mean,
not,
interrupt you.
not when it comes to that. No, because that you're eating the cost. You're going to be using the expense of using the machine there anyways. It's not that expensive.
See, knowledge wins. Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse. Nobody's saying there's an excuse for the time frame.
Yeah, I agree.
It's unfortunate. My only point is, I don't think it comes down to a guy who wanted to disappear into the Georgia mountains and fuck Whitty over. That's just, what would he have to gain from that? That would hurt his business more than, the $3,800 of the 10 knives.
All right, let's move on because that's.
Show me the tip real quick.
I don't think it's helping anyone. So
wait, did you just ask Kyle to show you the tip?
Yep.
The tip. See, dude, do you sharpen your knives? You don't, do you? You send them off?
I rudiment like my work knives just to get them going. Otherwise, when it's,
There you go.
Have you ever invested in a knife sharpener and done it therapeutically?
Yeah, no, I've got a Wicked Edge, or not a Wicked Edge. What's the other one? KME.
KME? Do you use it? I mean, feel comfortable with it? You just don't like it?
I mean, I can, I send my knives to Kyle when they get real bad. But
I don't know what Kyle charges you.
I've got so many knives, they don't really go dull.
Right.
It's my work knives, and my work knives, when they get real bad, I'll send them out. Otherwise, I'll put I can put an edge on them. And you know what's funny is that stupid. What's that stupid?
The Feel Sharp. I love the Feel Sharp.
Dude, I bought it's in my trailer, my job trailer. So I do that on mine, on my guys.
It's got the two guides on each end. It's about 12 inches long.
Yeah.
Got a coarse stone and lights.
What's funny is I've used it on the Miller Brothers T1. Probably the only $2,800 knife ever to be used on a field sharpener.
Hey, let me tell you something. And if you like sharpening, but your system feels a little less than your knives, a TS Prof, especially the Pioneer, which is like 384 without stones.
I need to set this room. I'm trying to figure out how to set this room up. Like I want to, some guitar stuff back here, but I've got a table that's set up for sharpening. That's right now is just full of knives. No, I'm not a good sharpener.
But you could learn to be. I'm not either. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's not what excites me about knife. Like, I don't know if I have the pay. Like, here's the thing. Like, I like taking apart guns and knives to clean, right?
Right. I watch you take apart knives, so I know you like tinkering.
I like the taking apart and the cleaning. I don't like the sharpening.
Because you haven't gotten to where you feel like you can put as good of an edge on.
Probably.
If you do it for a little while.
Huh?
If you do it for a little while with the right basic technique and a good system, you'll be able to put an edge on like anybody else.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm asking Kyle the whole tip.
Just on the
worst,
way. On my basic work knife, I just need to cut through stumping and cut through cardboard tape banding and it's funny, like a lot of times I've got a Chris Reeve, certain, like you see the videos of me prying crates open. That's what I've tried to pry with a Chris Reeve and the blades bend.
I'm here to tell you that was not the best knife to pry with.
No, but I wanted to see, right?
S45 or Magna Cut?
It was Magna Cut.
It wouldn't have mattered.
No, it's too thin. It was too thin. Those crates
right tool for the right job.
Yeah, those crates I pry that I've done with the Striders and the stuff like that. It was like that, and the blade started going like that, and I just stopped because I was like, oh yeah. So like I know like cutting what I can cut. Well, this was funny. I was taught when I was in Phoenix. Hold on one second. What? Yeah, honey. All right. I gotta tell my daughter good night. Be right back.
All right. Talk to me, Kyle.
All right. So what do we? I'm gonna forget where we're at.
We're talking about tips. So you're gonna be on your first stone. I've seen you've shown me this over and over. I don't know why I can't get it to where something's happening when I get to the curl of the tip to where I'm no longer creating a burr. And I'm making sure that I'm following the curve of the knife. So I'm keeping the stone on the blade equally. But Scott,
Pocket Money.
I got the Blitz 360 first. I'd never sharpened off anything.
That's easier. Like Dave sent me the KME. Do you think the TS Prof is easier? I want something easy.
It's 10 times easier, dude. I've never used a KME, but I've seen them set up, and I've handled one at Blade Show. The TS Prof looks like it was made by NASA. The machine.
I was about ready to buy one because our local knife store that was an hour and 40 minutes away, he was a TS Prof and he loved them, but then he passed away.
Dude, I'll tell you, who's got two of them now. They're the Pioneer. One of them's the Plus system, which is like $100 more, but I would recommend it. Is White Mountain Knives, and you can use Javon 10 and get 10% off.
Someone, like I mentioned, I might be buying a deadlock. I don't know.
All right, here you go, Javon.
So, Kyle, you're focusing just on that from the belly to the tip right now.
I was just getting it started, but now as I'm going up here, if you look at the angle of this, how this moves,
it turns slightly.
All I have on it is my thumb. Here, I'll just do it this.
So you're putting no weight.
But you see how that's turning?
Yep.
That's happening naturally. You let that happen.
Turn, right?
What's that?
It's supposed to turn, right?
Yeah. I mean, so as I go this way, it naturally, and that's why my finger is stopping it from rolling off the edge.
Right.
But here, it's slightly turning.
Because you got to that makes sense. But you're not putting any weight down on the stone, right? You're just letting the stone's weight do all the work, or are you putting a little bit of pressure on the stone?
It depends on what I'm trying to do. Like this, it's 14C. I mean, I almost got a burr already, but I mean,
so
no,
you
not really.
find that your tip, when you do it that way, burrs up at the same rate that your center does? Because it seems like the tip and the heel are always last for me.
Yeah, I mean that. There's
do you want the same size burr, Kyle, or do you just want a burr?
Yeah, ideally that's fine, but you don't want to make it to the point where your burr is so huge that it's unruly to get off. So like there, I'm just trying to even that out right now. And if I were to flip that.
So it's okay if it's thicker or more of a burr in the middle of the blade than it is at the tip. If you've got the burr, you've apexed it, correct?
Yeah, so I'm already done there.
So now you're just going to basically do that one pass to kind of roll the burr over.
Yeah, I'm just flipping that. Now I'm going to go same thing.
Just to get your scratch pattern and to get the bevels even.
What's that?
Just to get your scratch pattern the way you want it and your bevels even?
Yep.
Scotch, do you find this exhilarating? That's why you got to start sharpening. We'll have guitar night next Friday.
No, I'm kind of pissed off, honestly. The Hawk had a deadlock drop tonight, and a guy saw a video where I was talking about him yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this one. It's brand new. I've never." And I'm like, "Well, there's the drop today." I said, that I can get for retail. I was like, he's like, "Well, I'm really interested in trades," and he fucked around with me enough where I missed the drop, and I still don't have a fucking number from him.
So you still don't have a knife and you missed the drop. Did you see? You don't watch Metal Complexes live tonight, did you?
No, I don't know.
Somebody super chatted him $5 and said, "I bet you won't take that." It wasn't it was a deadlock, but it was a flipper.
I've got one of those on order too.
Okay, he had that knife.
Here, I bet
you won't, because it's like a $980 knife, right?
$950.
Okay, he said the super chatter said, "I bet you won't cut that metal inner here plaque." And he goes, "Well, it was given to me by a viewer, by Stacy." And Stacy was in the chat and said, "Oh, it's okay, MC." So MC flips out his fucking deadlock or his flipper deadlock, and then just fucking scores the shit out of that metal. And goes, "I'm not scared to use my knives."
He only uses them to show that. He's done that before. He's broken a tip off of a fucking
Well, yeah, that was more, but he wasn't going to do that to his deadlock. He was just showing that he's not, that it'll cut through that
5 more.
aluminum.
I would have regretted getting the Hawk or the deadlock. Like the Hawk will be here in 2 or 3 weeks, he said.
So are you switching a stone on every pass, Kyle? Every time you flip it back, you go to another stone, right?
Yeah, every time
You're
I
not having to stick on your cutting stone longer?
No, I already got the bird. I'm on my 3rd stone already, John.
And you're feeling it come across on the tip every time. Because mine gets further and further away, it seems like, as I progress through the stones. I'll feel the burr on the first 2, and then I start losing it on the tip.
Deadlock. I would have. Well, he's going to send it to me to check out 5-door. We'll see. I've just been fascinated. Like I've got the luminary, which is a 0 blade play, but the Hawk has the side button. Not the Hawk, the deadlock.
Just in time. There's a company called Gritomatic. I'm gonna put the link in the. I have no affiliation with them. I just bought a lot of stones and workshop accessories.
Yeah,
So,
we can talk guitar while Kyle strokes himself. Javon.
Yep.
So you were talking earlier. You keep talking about the whole Magna Cut, whatever, any steel in China. You were that's what me and Pop Miller were talking about when I was talking to him earlier.
I'm just interested by it. I shouldn't be. It's my
so
ADHD.
Here's a perfect example. It's like that in every industry. So I watched a video literally yesterday on guitars, on guitar tops. And even though Epiphone is owned by Gibson, right?
Right.
On their AAA, on their flame tops, it's supposed to be it's maple, right? The maple tops.
Yes.
A Les Paul.
On a flame top.
Yeah. It's a maple body. Wait, am I confused now?
No, I think you're talking about a maple flame top.
Yeah. It's but they said like Epiphone, they just put it on their website now. Like, so any Chinese guitar will say that it's a maple flame top, right? But it's not, because it's harder to get these maple flame top, the maple that people want. But China has a lot of wood, a lot of forest that have trees that mimic maple or mimic that flame top. You don't know what wood it's just like steel. You don't know what wood is in that guitar. That's what
like you don't know what exact steel analogs in that knife.
Just like you don't know what steel is in your knife. You don't. They're saying, because, and the guy said it perfectly. He said they're saying that it's a maple flame top because that is what the US, like the consumers, want to hear.
And see, that's always been my thought, is why the Chinese call it Magna Cut or S90V,
because they know that's what we want to hear.
Right.
It's not evil. They're not like. Here's the thing. Like, people are like, ooh, right? Maybe the Chinese government's bad, but like they're not evil. But they know that that's what the U.S. market or other market. That's what we want to hear. So they just put it right. They're trying to make you happy. They want to say S90V, so they're going to tell you you're getting S, or they want you want a Les Paul clone with a maple top. They're going to fucking give you a maple top, but it's some shit wood that just kind of looks like maple. So that's what I wanted to say earlier. That's why I was like, bring me on.
And Shane and I had an interesting conversation yesterday about steel company and Gadsden that went out of business. I won't get into it because I want to show just in time this, and I'll put the link in the chat just to Gritomatic. But if you go to their workshop, these are all accessories that are aftermarket for the workshop Precision Just. So if there was a clamp just missing, Workshop will send it to you, no questions asked. But I recommend these stone holders. I had one of these, so it would allow me to run the Neve stone or any stone on my Workshop, and then you could buy better clamps, and they're not that expensive, $25. This little thing's a great tool. It's a little rubber wedge that you put under your clamp right there, and it just keeps it from wobbling up and down. It really works well. Keeps your angle more centralized. And they've got centralized clamps for the Workshop. and I'll drop the Gritomatic link. They've got all kinds of little attachments for it. And I'd stay away from the plastic stone holders. They're a little bit less. I'd get the aluminum if it was me. But yeah, let me drop a link in here for Gritomatic. They're over in Atlanta, Georgia, too, so they ship pretty quick. Stop sharing.
After that video yesterday, I had a lot of people like, I want to buy that knife from you. I want to buy that knife from you. I got an email from a guy. I don't know how I got my email.
Is it a knife you're considering selling now?
Well, I've got that Hawk Talon on. I did the pre-order. The one that metal. They're out now. Steve Clare's got one. I can't remember. I ordered in November. I can't remember what color I got. And I just hit them up today because I keep like they're releasing, and I've had trouble to get these knives. You have to sign up for their newsletter,
right,
and do all this bullshit on their website. And I had issues back then. And the owner was it the dad died. Gavin and Grant. What are the G&G?
Yeah,
whatever.
Gavin and Grant.
Anyway, he set it up. He set it up for me
so as it can be, isn't it?
He set it up so I could have an account. And then I just emailed them then like, hey, I know these are no issue. Like, I just want to know, like, am I getting an invoice? Because this was all set up by you guys anyway, because I couldn't get the account set up. So you guys set it up for me. I said, am I going to get an invoice with a bill? When's it? And he said, it looks like your knife is still 2 or 3 weeks out. I'm like, all right, cool.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
And Kyle, you didn't even strop that, did you? You just honed it.
I stropped it.
Oh, did you strop it? And you're not getting any rough spots when you cut through it, right? It's just a clean cut.
Yeah. And that's
another little thing that I get that I don't see on my
degrees,
link.
by the way. So you don't have to take it down to 15 to get a knife sharp.
No. Like I said, when I was really making them how I felt sharp, I was sticking around 20 degrees, kind of the factory edges that they came with, instead of trying to reduce them all. But I always have, even on the flats, like when I cut through paper, and I didn't on my Blitz 360, I get a little rough spot. And I'm not getting as much with my Venese, and I just need to work with them a little more. But yeah, dude, that is very, very sharp. Very, very sharp.
I mean, that's 14C, so it took me all of 15, 20 minutes tops.
So in the order of steel, roughly time, 14C is probably the one to practice on.
Yeah.
And then like 154, is that a lot harder?
It's not harder as far as toughness of the steel, but it takes a little longer to sharpen.
What knife would you guys trade for?
Is that the one that Jared reviewed just in time? Because that does look very much like it.
Screw that. It's a clone. I mean, if that's your thing.
I'll tell you guys, I bought the original Blitz, just the regular Blitz, and then I bought the accessories to make it a Blitz 360. And then down the road, I bought the Blitz Professional, which was it was an attachment that went on the front to make it flip easier, and it was longer and had bigger clamps. So I just upgraded mine over time. And the Pioneer, again, I've been amazed. There's a guy or guys that if you're in the chat, it's you do you, but they keep promoting the Rosie XL clone and even have a drop date of the next batch of them on a short.
Yeah, I don't get down with clones.
Me neither. That's true, just in time. You can turn it into it, but what it does, and in this article, this argument's rarely ever won, and there's not necessarily a right answer. There is, to me, that anytime you get a clone, to me, it's somebody else's intellectual property, especially if it's the same, and it's never as good, and you usually don't get the service. For example, on my Blitz 360, I had an issue with my knob. I reached out to them. They take care of problems. They've got a U.S. Warehouse in Nashville real close to me. And they are a lot less expensive. And they probably work pretty well, but I just don't support clones if I can help it. And I know any Chinese knife, people will say it's a clone of something. I didn't watch Lefty's video the other day, but the thumbnail really intrigued me. He had 2 knives and he said, no, they're not copies. Did anybody watch that video?
Nope.
Donnie sent me something yesterday, which was funny as shit. Where is Donnie tonight?
Donzo was over in Metal Complex. He's still probably over there.
Fucking dick.
He's over there washing his balls.
Donnie's just trying to get that. Donnie's just got to get that bless. You know.
Hey, hadn't Metal Complex shown it?
I don't think I don't know.
I mean, dude, Donnie's going to get so busy. He's
too busy now.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And I've told Shane that. Shane and I talk about stuff, and right now he's got a good partner system.
I think Shane.
Guys, I got to run.
I think
all right,
Shane.
buddy. Hey, Kyle, thank you for joining, dude.
Not a problem. Take care.
I'll see. It said Stevie. Maybe we're going to hear the story about the border tonight if you're awake.
Possibly.
Is that where Stevie got to reach around?
Did you hear about that?
All right, later.
Stevie got stopped at the border. He was working up in Canada, and then he had to go to Las Vegas. So he drove his truck up to Canada because he lives up there in Oregon. Stopped him at the border. He didn't think he had anything because he's got a truck he's had 1 week. He bought a new truck. They found 3 loose 9mm rounds in it. They found weed in it and something else, paraphernalia-wise, and he went through a whole bunch of shit.
I'm surprised. Did he get let into Canada?
He did. He got into Canada.
I had to call his boss up there on vacation and was banned from. I mean, they revoked his years ago. A kid that just liked he'd get off in the summertime, and he was trying to get to Alaska, and they found some shit in his car, and he had to. This is back in the 90s, but
yeah, William, I'm talking about old said Druggo.
William the Cheeto.
What would you call him? An international embezzler or international trafficker?
People still watching that beggar streams. That's disappointing.
Which one's that?
Five Door. I am excited. I am excited for my Chupacabra because one, it's a hawkbill and it's a chisel grind, and it's got the hole, right?
Who's Chupacabra?
The Old Dominion Knife Works Chupacabra.
The tactile turn Chupacabra. What do you think about this $249 knife? USA made, Magna cut.
I don't know if I touched that at DNK Knives when Dave and I were there.
You want me to send it to you?
You can. Do you want to see anything of mine?
Not right off the bat, dude. But I might down the road. But this is an aluminum Magna cut.
Because they had that there.
Snick slot.
I touched the Archer, which I'm glad I did.
I don't like the Archer. And the Archer's overpriced, in my opinion.
For that amount of money, yeah, I think so too.
And that other one, the one that's kind of squared off looking, is even more ridiculously priced than the Archer. I don't get it because this knife,
and then we
Magna cut aluminum, Snex lock, and $249, and it's a great EDC knife. I love the blade shape. I love the sharpening choil.
We touched what's the crossbar lock one? The
thin one.
No,
I've reviewed it. It's called I reviewed my buddy's red one. That's the Iron Man edition. It's called the Maverick.
They're kind of cool looking, and I've been tempted to buy one a couple times, but the one we had, and you kind of hear like QC issues with them, right, from time to time.
They used to have them, but they're real good about warranty.
This one fucking failed. This was busted ass. Don was like, "Oh shit," Dave and I'm like, "This knife's broken." Dave's like,
"Oh yeah." They took it right back, didn't they? Made it right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask Don. He's like, I'll look at it.
Yeah, they well, usually they're real good about warranty stuff, from what I've heard. But this is a great knife for the money, I think. And I did a video on
Archer does have a lot of machine time. Sorry, 5 Door. Sorry, the Mariner. He didn't have a Mariner. The Archer.
Yeah, the Archer machine time, having those contour scales.
But I was worried about. I have a problem for me sometimes is with a knife. Well, it's not really like that, but with a more upswept, like, what is this, a drop point? Not
Yeah.
drop point.
Clip point or
Clip point. No, clip point's more. I like if I'm gonna have. I want this. I want more stabby, more.
more spear pointy.
Yeah, I have a hard. The Archer was more upswept. I have a for just how I use a knife. It's
My
harder for
hand,
me that more upswept whatever. Just
it was beautiful.
and it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
Was it sharp on your underside? I mean, it looked great. The action was great, but when I held it, it felt sharp on the underside, like the scales could be more rounded or more chamfered. I just wasn't that impressed with it. I did review it thanks to Lord Needham sent it to me.
I will be right back. I have to pee.
Take your time, dude. All right, guys, now's the time of the show. We do random pocket checks. And I'm going to start off and show you what I carried. I love this knife. This is the Hinderer Jurassic. And what's unique about it is it's got this little back spacer, little system thing here. You can take it out. It's got a tool, a disassembly tool. But this is the Hinderer Jurassic that I carried in my right pocket. And then I carried in my left pocket my GEC 86 with 1931 Leatherworks, awesome slip. Since I got the slip, I've not taken the knife or the slip out of my pocket except to cut with it. And then in my back pocket, I've got a TKL Adversary, which is a wicked freaking Warncliffe that's jimped to jab through shit, but it cuts like a perfect EDC knife. Have you ever had a TKL knife?
No, dude, I'm not a.
Yeah, a fixed blade guy.
I'm trying to be a fixed blade guy, and I just can't. You guys, how many fixed blades have you guys seen me have?
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you're not into them, don't go there. I mean, believe me, fixed blades.
I've got one shipping tomorrow. So,
what do you got coming? A Hinderer?
No, I've got a Hinderer Ranch Bowie if anybody wants it. You don't need one, Scott.
Is the Ranch the big one? The Emmett's the little one, right?
Yeah, the Ranch Bowie is the big one. It sits in the camper, but since I got Shane's knife, that's my wood chopping knife now.
How are you still liking that? Are you loving it?
Shane's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just use it when we have our camp. I mean, I have
you just beat the shit out of trees.
It's this big, like I just use the split wood.
I love it. Mimo carried the Spyderco Capata Hero S30V.
But a knife I ordered in June is finally.
That's awesome, Paul. And I don't know if y'all saw Witty. He said he's got some Jurassic hologrinds coming in next week. He's got Eclipse hologrinds in now. And to be honest with you, I've got a Spanto XM18. I would trade it in a heartbeat for a hologrind slicer. Everybody's like, duh.
For the Jurassic? For the Jurassic?
No, I like my Jurassic, but I would trade my Jurassic for a hologrind Jurassic that's going to be coming out next week, hopefully, like what he said. My buddy A to Z has the Bodacious coming in, so I'm going to get to interview it. Well, Paul Mills, down the road, brother, we may have to trade something because I'm jonesing for knives. Thank God for A to Z, because my local buddy buys crazy shit. I mean, he'll buy a lot of Recon 1, Shiro.
Space Ghost. Do we still call him Space Ghost, or is he West B now? I miss my Smooth
Space Ghost or West B.
That was
until he changes his logo, he won't be West B until he changes.
Smooth Criminal is a fantastic little knife.
Hinderer dropped some tonight on USA Made Blades.
No, probably on Hinderer's site.
Those are two winner chicken dinners, buddy. Civivi Various Plus Trainer and a Kaiser Momo. The Kaiser Momo is absolutely wonderful. I had the Momo. I gave it away because Kaiser sent it out to me to check out the budget version. And they also sent me the mini Momo, which I still have, which is about the size of the Bug Out. It's not really mini, but great knife. Cuts like a dream and designed by an architect. I forget his name, Igor something. Emerson Commander for me, and Sharpening the Smooth Criminal while y'all talk. Dude, Wes, to me, Sharpening is therapeutic, unless I fuck up an edge. Just in Time's got the crew card of PM2. Really need a CME. Are they in stock, buddy? Let's check real quick. I've got some rock scale designs coming for one of my PM2s, so I'm going to get to do a scale swap on that.
I started talking about that earlier. Would you go, all right, Javon, would you go with a Les Paul or would you go with a Heritage? Heritage.
I'm biased against Les Pauls because I used to try to play one and they did not hang. They don't hang good on me. They're heavy and you cannot sit. If you've ever tried to go to a music store, I usually play sitting down. Sit down and try to cradle a Les Paul in your lap and then put a Telly or a Strat and feel the difference in the balance and how that curve just fits your leg perfectly. So I've got a Paul Reed Smith 223 that's a Les Paul body that I like, and I play it because I like the sound. It's got dual humbuckers. But what is the Heritage? I'm Googling it right now.
You haven't heard so when Gibson moved out of Michigan in '85, the employees bought the factory and basically just said "fuck you" and just kept making them.
Dude, I think I found a totally different one. Have you ever heard of a Sheckler?
A Sheckler?
Yeah. Check this out. For about half the price of the Heritage. Look how beautiful this is.
I'm trying to stay in, with U.S. guitars, U.S.
Yeah, I get it.
It killed me to buy that Epiphone.
Look at that Spalding maple, though.
Yeah, wet. I mean, Space Ghost. I would have never looked at that knife, and my buddy bought one, so I bought one, and then a mutual friend lost a knife, and he's like, "Dude, do you want to sell that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I hooked him up on a deal, and he gave it to him, and then I feel bad so I got to get him one because then he sent his Smooth Criminal, which he loved, off to that douchebag scammer. That's why I don't like scammers. That douchebag scammer, Thomas Kennard, and money, knife gone. So that's why I'm kind of hard on this whole.
I get it, dude. I mean, I think you have every right to be.
I know we've talked about it, but I don't like it, and I don't know. And I feel bad if he's got a family and a wife. I feel bad for them. People like that, I feel bad for. I've got a renter, right? We've got rental properties. I've got a renter that's a douchebag, and I look at him and I'm like, God, you fucking suck. You have a family, so that's what I look at. I'm just very kind of black and white a lot of the time.
Right. And I truly believe if you knew Steve, you'd met him like in person, you wouldn't feel Satu type vibes from him, but you would feel similar type where you might see it totally different. It's still shitty. It's not excusable.
I think my problem is he gets on the internet and beats his chest like he's the heat treating god. He's the dude. You're smarter than Lauren Thomas? Probably not. You were a chef. What kind of chef were you? Would you cook at McDonald's? I don't know.
No, he was a legit chef. And what's weird is
people who are very loud and focus on them and put like I'm the best, And
I just showed off your slip.
So that's
Joseph, the Les Paul cuts through the mix a lot better. I think.
You know what, Joseph? Here's the funny thing. Like I was talking with my wife the other day, and she's like, she can't after 2 hours of just me just fucking around. She was like, she came downstairs. And she's like, enough for a night. She's like, it's enough. I'm like, but listen, what I learned.
And you hadn't gotten your custom amp yet, have you?
No, it shipped today.
Oh, dude.
And I
So is
don't
that a
even
different
have a
headstock than a Les Paul?
They changed the headstock a little, right? Because that's the thing that Gibson trademarks,
Trademark, right?
And then the pick guard, the pick guard is different, but they're using turn it around. Look at the head on the stamp on, like they're using the same stamping where they stamp in the serial number and like USA, made in the USA, that Gibson used back before Gibson vacated Michigan. I just thought it was a cool, and they're cheaper.
I think that's probably a winner guitar. I'm not that familiar with them. Have you looked at any YouTube videos?
Yeah, I've been watching, because look, dude, I'm an idiot. I bought 2 guitars. I'm 2 guitars and 2 amps in like 3 months time, right?
You know what that's going to make you do? I mean, you're making a commitment to teaching yourself a lifelong skill that you can play forever.
It's fun. Like it is. So like I told you, like I'm really bad. I suck. But what I did was, I thought messing around on my daughter's acoustic was fun and learning some stuff, but then actually going through and actually learning what chords. And dude, I haven't had anything that's been more satisfying. Like when you learn something new and you're like, just that joy.
The greatest feeling is starting, and I do it on the internet now, and I've been playing for 20 years, but I'll go to a song that I want to learn, usually a Grateful Dead song, usually more complicated. I'll start and I'll think I'll never get this, but I'll watch it over and over and I'll play it. And then for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll just work on that song and I'll take a couple of days off. And when I get it, it's just like, I know I taught my fingers, my brain, a lot of stuff. And what I'm not good with is timing. So I played the band for years, but I always set the tempo. I always compete.
And here's my thing: like I don't have any rhythm, so like learning the 1 and 2 and 3, just like learning and trying to learn. Just all right, you can pluck the string and you can do this, or
I never learned that way. I always learned by listening to what I like to play. So you can get away. You can kind of naturally learn different rhythms by replicating stuff you're trying to learn, right? So as you're learning a song, you know how it's supposed to sound, and you're trying to get that speed and cover those strings.
Richard, that's a bummer.
Yeah, Richard, I regret selling my Alvarez Yari acoustic when I traded it for my Guild. I've got a Guild True American acoustic cutaway. That Alvarez Yari was a Bob Ware signature. I love that guitar. It didn't sound good amplified, but it sounded great acoustic. And I had an old, I don't know if y'all remember the Ovation Celebrities.
I don't know of anything that's been more, other than like my family and career, like bullshit, like I say bullshit, family, career, stuff like that. But I don't think anything that's been more rewarding than sitting down and you learn that note, you learn this chord change, you learn, because it's something I have always wanted to do and never did.
And you've watched people do it on stage for years,
dude,
so you know the basics.
You guys like I always say, I don't watch a lot of knife video. I watch knife videos when I'm looking at, or after I bought something, or I look at, or what's
you're waiting for it to come in is usually when I watch them.
You guys, I watch a lot of car videos. I watch fucking shoe videos, and I've watched guitar videos for years. I can't tell you, I've made, my channel is a bunch of bullshit. I talk about whatever. I've made, I'm a huge just music fan. I've made a couple different music videos that are like talking about music that I've never uploaded, because I know people are going to because music is like knives. You like this music, you're an idiot. You like this music, it's I'll probably do it again.
Dude, I would definitely do it, because EDC, I was going to do some stuff on skateboard content. And then I decided no, because I know there are people that like skateboard content, but not in the knife community. And I look at skateboard content as EDC transportation. When I worked in the city, I'd throw a board in the back of my trunk I'd park and I'd skate to work.
Yeah. So,
But so I think if you like stuff like that, Ed, we watched it. We watched some of it on the stream when Witty joined him. Hopefully he'll keep it up. I think he keeps his videos up.
Witty?
Steve. It
Oh.
was on Steve's channel. I think Witty probably came in and joined him.
Oh. So it's been fun. And you know what? So I bought the first two. I bought everything online, except, everything's been bought online. Because it's hard in a small town, an hour away.
Oh yeah, so, you want and yeah.
I'm always trying to support local. So that amp I bought, I'm super pumped about that because a one-man show. He sent me pics. He got done when you and me and Pocket Metal talked about it. I bought it and I'm like, and he was getting ready for a show. And there's have you heard? They're in your area, casino or down south, Casino Guitars.
Yeah.
So they were coming down to build some amps with him and stuff like. I'm like,
in Nashville.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, dude. I'm like, hey, do your thing. I said, I'm not in any hurry, and he was super appreciative and cool. And he hit me up yesterday, sent me pictures. It's got a brand new chassis.
Dude, they're boutique. That's a true boutique amp, is what that's considered.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like getting one of Donnie's knives in the guitar world. He's using the best of the best to get the
under
sound.
$1,000.
Right. Which they can do that. He's doing it in his garage, probably by himself.
Hold on, let me find.
And you think about it, if you're wiring circuits, you can be consistent without production equipment.
I don't know what that all looks like.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, dude, that's your tubes and your rectifier. That's the backside of the amp inside it, right?
Yeah, he was building a new chassis.
So does he say what kind of tubes are you running, like A12s?
Oh, I can't remember. This is all new to me.
Dude, and it won't matter. But what you'll notice is that's going to be the perfect pedal platform. So when you tell me the kind of music you like playing, I'll help you hook up with a couple of $100, $150 inline pedals.
Yeah.
And you can dial in any sound through that amp you want, from deep, edgy delays to hardcore overdrives where you don't have to overdrive your amp except with the pedal. You can get some cool stuff. Before I got in the knife business, or the knife, whatever you want to call it, addiction, I was addicted to buying effects. I was trying to build my perfect, I wasn't playing on stage anymore, but I bought a rack, a floorboard, and built the pedal board of my dreams. Just a Jerry Garcia pedal board. It's got an overdrive. It's got a tuner. It's got a little Line 6 multi-effects processor, which I only use for an envelope filter. And then it's got a $400 pedal.
Thank you, Space. I probably need that. Yeah,
you'll love it, dude. And I'll tell you what else. The cheapest thing you need for fun.
Is Javon cutting out with anybody else or just me? Have you guys watched The Severance on Apple TV?
Mine's a little dirty because I've been wearing it out, but you need a good pill bottle slide.
That's way past.
It fits, dude. Let me tell you what you can playing slide or playing open tunings. Like which it was over my head for the first 5 years, tuning to open tunings. But That's the Way by Led Zeppelin, or what's another song? In Memory of Elizabeth Reed by the Allman Brothers Band.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard that, right? Those are the easiest songs to play because they're in open tunings and you're only fingering a couple of strings.
Yeah.
So the open tuning, when you play it open, you've got a chord like open E or open G is great for slide because you just slide up to the root of the note and it's just fun. And it's $6. You get a good one. And you want a heavy one. And I would go glass, not brass.
Glass, not brass.
That's my preference.
What I
Ukulele guy. Mimo, you know what? I used to could chord a mandolin. I had a mandolin, a cheap one, a Rogue mandolin that my ex-wife got me, and the bridge broke, and I never fixed it. But I could play like Losing My Religion, and I think a ukulele frets a little bit differently. What I got recently, and Pocket Metal knows, but I got a Mini Lab 3. Have you ever seen a Mini Lab 3? It's a little keyboard, MIDI interface. Let me grab it.
Blessed knives. You can drop them on concrete from 5 feet in the air, and they're still solid. Actually, all right, let's be honest. It was 4 feet. My truck is 7 feet, so it was 4 feet.
So I've been watching all these videos.
But everything's bigger in Texas, so it's probably 5 feet.
Let me find one. Hold on.
What was fun was learning an actual part of a song. To where like I've learned songs like where it was like, hey, I learned, but it wasn't really, what skills? Crew wear, Paul. I have been it's got some dings, it's got some scratches, it's fallen out of my pocket, out of my giant truck. Not giant, but don't be dropping. Michael, I can't tell you how many knives that I've had in my lap while I've been driving, messing around with, and you just kind of put in your lap, and then I get out, and then you open. And so, I'm in a Chevy 3500 diesel. It's a big truck, you're up in the air, and nothing really kind of takes that breath away as you realize there's a knife flying out of your lap heading towards the concrete.
Yeah, that's kind of a make your ears tingle.
It does.
So check this out. So it's a synthesizer that hooks up your computer.
This is Dre.
And you can loop all these different sounds together. And I've been fucking with different music and beats, trying to learn my guitar chords. You can drum, you can do anything. Watch him build this beat.
Why dance in the background?
That's not the cool. That's just the thing. Listen to this. This is more impressive. This one's more impressive right here.
I'll be right back.
Okay. This is the last thing I'll share, guys. I promise. We'll get back to knife talk, life talk, and get ready for Maddie. Come on now. Trying to decide which ad to serve me. So I'm going to go back one. Oh, here it comes. I went too quick. Bring it back. So check this out. This is pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of Phil Collins. This is what I've been fucking with. I've got that same. Well, I got a little bit different one. And you can buy these banks of artist sounds. Even does the drum break.
What happened to a 6320?
This is the old Midi 2. I've got the Midi 3, the Mini Lab 3. I'll show it to you in just a second. But check this out. Hit the drums.
so misses makeup channels. Dude, if you miss makeup channels over music, we're talking knives, Mayor.
We're getting right back into knives. That's going to get to the drum break because I'll get copyright.
Here's a question for you, real quick, though. Is this Genesis?
Yeah, well, it's Phil Collins. He's doing a. Oh, here we go. He's just building it up on this little machine that I've got. So he just built
Metal not coming in tonight.
He was in here a little while ago, and then I thought I saw him backstage, and then he hadn't come back in. I hope he does. He's got the link, but this is that little thing, and I went ahead and went to Amazon and got those little stickers because I know how to combine them to make chords, but I don't know what the keys on a keyboard are. But I've learned "Don't Stop Believing." I've learned "Still Dre." And I haven't been able to link up any live shit where I add basses and drums and stuff like that. But it's a cool little thing to.
It was the most impressive thing watching my daughter. So years ago, one daughter wanted a keyboard, a keyboard for Christmas, and she played it and did whatever, and then it just sat there. And then the other daughter literally taught herself, like I said, how to play it, and then wanted a guitar. I'm like, cool, whatever, get yourself a guitar. Taught herself to play it, and not even a year after having it, she went to my wife's mom's church over Christmas and played and sang a song in front of people.
She's probably been doing it in a room for.
She does, but I mean, it terrified me.
Dude, watching her do it terrified you more than it did her because stage fright is real for everybody. Anytime you walk out in front of people, but what happens is you start playing and you either go down.
I mean, she killed it. She killed it. I was like, how is she singing in front of people and playing a guitar? That she literally taught herself, never had a lesson. So
Kathleen, it's a great value. I got it on Amazon. Let me pull it up. It's like $99. It comes with all the software.
I've gone overboard on my knife collection. I've talked about having a toned down watch collection. What would be your four guitar collection? I thought Strat, Telly.
You've got a Strat now, and you're thinking about getting a Les Paul shape, right? So you've got those two shapes.
I've got a Strat and a 335,
which is great. And you want a Les Paul shape. I would add a Telly and be done.
Yeah.
So if you had a Telly. This is me personally, because right now I've got a Les Paul style. I'd love an ES 335 or ES 355, but I'd love just a semi hollow body. But I've got my Guild acoustic. Acoustic would be good to have, and you can get a Yamaha acoustic for not a lot, or you can get a Taylor or a Martin or something really nice because you like nicer American made stuff. But it's a totally different sound, and it works your fingers totally different.
That's the draw. So I went, like I said, I want to try buy local now. We've got a local music store. Like I said, it's an hour away, but they've been in business forever. But then there's also like a guitar center. So I walked in, I was in the big city had a doctor's appointment and walked into the guitar center. Not one person talked to me except for the guitar tech who kind of looked like you, except he smelled like cigarettes and whiskey.
Guitar Center is a great place to go try one on, but I would not do any business with them.
He was the most disgruntled, helpful employee I've ever met. Just disgruntled and unhappy. And there was a Les Paul with a cracked neck that they still wanted $2,000 for.
Well, in all truth, it was probably they probably knew the neck could be fixed, but still, I wouldn't buy anything.
I've watched a lot of videos. Usually the neck is cracked up top. This was
Kathleen. That's the link, sweetheart, to where I bought mine. But they've got a mint green that I would have bought. It just would have taken 3 more times to get here. So check out the mint green.
Strum as soon as we're done here.
Dude, I'm just telling you, you're gonna love it, and you've got so many resources. Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
All right. There's a I'm gonna kill my. I pay for this app. I either paid one time or I pay like $4.99 a month. I don't know, but it's called have you ever been to the guitar tabs.com?
Mm-mm.
All right, this is an app. It's called I'll close it and see what it's called when it opens up. But what it does is it has my preference, and I can name a song that you want to learn.
Wes, I was on one of Javon's streams with Doom 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't seen Doom in a while.
Yeah.
So here's every little thing she does is magic.
In my mind, like, so not in the, at first I was like, I'm gonna hang all, because like I'm with look, I like shit. I was like, I'm gonna hang the guitars, I'm gonna have this great space, and then I was like, I was gonna do it out in the actual basement and make it like an art, like a cool
You don't
area.
want them outside. I'd keep them in your room, and you can get nice hangers that'll keep your neck straight.
Would you hang them on the wall, or would you leave them in the case?
If I left them in the case, I'd leave them sideways. I keep all mine, and you should, if you're having a lot of moisture changes, there's nothing better than keeping it in the case.
Okay.
Somewhere under your bed. But I keep all mine out on stands. I used to have them all hanging in my study when I was married on these, and I've got the hangers. I could send them to you. They're guitar hangers that have the soft foam, and you just mount them on a stud.
I don't know if I want to put them on the walls here or get behind me. You can't see, but I'm thinking about like I said, taking my sharpening corner that I don't really use, moving it over and getting a chair, like so I can just kind of hang out in here and play, because I think my family, other than my dog, is tired of me. Are
you secluded from the rest of the house there?
Yeah, this is just a concrete room.
Dude, I would hang out there. So I just pulled up Police. Every little thing she does is magic. And this is all guitar shit. So I can look and see which is most popular or which is the official. And then when you click on it, you can choose the guitars you want. But what's cool is it shows tab.
I'm a digger.
Have you learned to read tab yet?
No, I did the other day for 7 days.
That's how you're learning your chords. It
Yeah.
shows 6 strings like that, and this is just showing lead lines. But this app lets you push play. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's showing the staffs moving across the fingers. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So it's showing you exactly where your fingerings go.
Send me that thing.
I'll send you a link to it from iTunes.
Get a guitar.
This is where I learned all my music off this app.
I've gotten into it bad. So Neil, like I'll learn something, Neil. So I've gotten into the bad habit, or maybe I don't know what it is, but I will sit down correctly and learn something, and then later in the night, when I don't have any dad duties, the kids are doing what the fuck they want to do. No one's bothering. And when I get to just chill out, I'll just kind of like kick back on the chair. Like that was me and the dog the other night. I just laid back on the couch and just kept practicing, horrible form.
I'm about to change your life if I can find the right one here. I might have to go to Sweetwater. I'm trying to find it on Amazon. Damn it. Where is it?
Guys, I'm going to have to end this, though, in a second. My wife just sent me a...
Go do your thing, dude. I'm going to... we're about... I think we've got a while till said faction, so we'll hang out.
Javon, I mean, you're going to have to... Javon, you're going to have to, like... We'll have to, like, talk on the phone sometime. I know you're, like, you like a vampire and you sleep during the day, but...
No, I don't sleep during the day, dude. You've got my number, don't you? I'll text it to you tonight, or I'll...
Text you tonight. We'll have to talk because... there's just questions on questions. This is one of the most fascinating things I've had lots of hobbies and lots of interests. I still, like I said, I mean, from knives to competition shooting but for something that has been and something that my wife supports.
Well, and the fact that you've done it for this long, which doesn't seem like a long time, but you're not frustrated. You're still into it. Something like this, and it doesn't have to be a gator, but just a little stool that you can put your feet on.
Yeah, I need one of those for here.
Yeah, and they make all kinds. They make much less expensive ones than that, but that's not the one I was looking for. Let me go to Sweetwater real quick.
For me, it was just learning something new, like I said, just like when my daughter got her acoustic and watching her, and then just she'd do something and kind of show me, and you're learning, but you're not really learning, and it's something you've always wanted to learn. And if you love, I think Giovanna I talked about before, like I love the Grateful Dead. You know, I've got a Grateful Dead tattoo. But just the love of music, like it's freeing.
Yeah, it's totally. And you can. What's great about it is you can learn at your own pace. And now with the internet, which I didn't have when I started, but you can go and you can learn just about anything you want to, and you can get it taught the way that you absorb it. You don't have to know how to read music. I've never known how to read music. This is another little kind of cool chair if you like a back. This is more of a concert chair, and I don't know if you can see that little thing down at the bottom.
Mhm.
That's for setting your guitar in when you're not playing. But I would get a solid one, not a folder, and I would get one because I kind of lean forward. I like the ones without a back.
All right, so how about those look fancy for that? I mean, but how about shit? What's the place called? Before me and my wife were married, what is the place called? Shit. What's a furniture store that?
IKEA.
No, fancier.
Ashley.
Nope.
Lane Thomas.
Nope.
Because any stool really works. I mean, bar stools work if they're not too tall. You just want a comfortable ass. The trick is you don't want a hard ass section.
What was
you
that?
Want some some cushion for your pushing.
No, it's that pretentious fucking store. It's a pretentious furniture store, and it's probably not worth the money.
Cotton Barrel or
no Cotton Barrel? No,
Barrel?
Wait, that sounds no. Fuck. God damn. What's another? God damn it! It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. Not Wayfair. Pottery Barn. 5-door. Thank you. Pottery Barn. Literally before me and my wife were married, we were in Pottery Barn in Chicago, and we sat in. We both love this leather chair, and we've been married 20 years. It'll be 20 years. I'm gonna get that fucking leather chair and put it in this room.
Chair or stool?
Comfortable? No, just a fucking armchair.
I got you. I'm going to Pottery Barn.
Only so, I mean, if I'm gonna be banished to my room, I can sit up on the chair and be comfortable, right, and play. But then
you can sit on your
TV on the wall and be Pottery Barn. Yeah, that fucking place.
I'm Googling some now.
It was an awesome chair, but I've dreamt about that chair since my ass sat in it when I was 25 years old.
How much damage was it? Was it like 1,400?
$2,000. It's stupid. It was like $2,000.
Tell me which one of these it is.
It's a leather chair, so.
Yeah, we're looking at a bunch of them right here on Pottery Barn. Any of those top four?
Back down. Dude, it's been so long. It was something similar to that. Look at this on sale. No, the arms were skinnier. Something similar to that. Just something, but it was the most comfortable chair. And even my wife at the time, girlfriend at the time, she was like, "This is an amazing chair."
I didn't know Pottery Barn carried stuff like this. These do look comfortable.
Dude, we were on Michigan Avenue in a Pottery Barn, and we were just amazed.
Yeah, if you're setting up your space, you need a chair to drink scotch and read music or read your iPad if you're learning off your phone or your iPad.
I think I buy enough dumb shit. I think I can buy myself a chair for my room.
That's a responsible purchase, isn't it? A chair is considered compared to what you buy.
My family would be okay with that.
Compared to what you buy, that would be a grown-up purchase.
It would be look, I bought a chair, guys, not a knife.
They'll be like, "What's wrong, Dad?"
Nightmare. Thank you, 5-door.
What's wrong with that?
It's funny. 5-door. Me and Doug might be the same person. I don't know. I think me and Carter from Edge Mindset are the same person sometimes too.
5-door is definitely a kindred spirit. All right, dude, I'm sending you right now the link to that app I just showed you on iTunes.
It was, so here's the thing. Thank you. So I walked into them. So one, okay, they had that Les Paul and it was broken. Not the head, but the neck way down.
Yeah, like, by the where it connects to the body, that's bad.
Yeah, it's
That's a neck replacement.
I've never seen anybody fix it there. But the dude was like, just buy a
neck from Gibson.
Strider too. He was like, just buy an Epiphone. I'm like, I'm trying to go. The Epiphone's got a badass Alpine White custom collaboration with Gibson right now. It looks beautiful, but I walk into my local, I would say local to us music, and they've got some Les Paul standards on sale. I'm like, oh sweet, they're like $300 off. We'll just, how popular are guitar sales right now? We'll just see what they are in another couple months.
We'll just talk to him now about, because he's probably got some holdback money from Gibson, because Gibson's in trouble. They fired the guy because Gibson owned Mesa Boogie, one of the my favorite amp company ever.
Yeah.
I only played Mark V for a short time, but I didn't own it. But they fired the guy like 4 months ago that they promised to keep on when they bought Mesa Boogie, who was their head engineer, who was what Mesa Boogie was. So a lot of the channels I watch, these guitar industry channels that talk about Guitar Center eventually going under.
I've watched all that shit for years because it just interested me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I watch a lot of bicycle channels. I used to, be huge into, road biking, mountain biking. When I was a kid, I BMX, raced. So I'm interested in a lot of bike companies are in trouble after COVID, right? They all ramped up production, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing across everybody.
Yeah, well, discretionary purchases. I'm directly affected by it. It's changed. I've taken so much money out of the knife industry just with my own habit because I haven't been able to do what I did,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild thing, dude. Go join your family.
All right, we're going to watch. The wife and I are going to watch a quick. I don't know what she's got picked out, but yeah.
Enjoy it, brother.
I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Good seeing you, my man.
All right, bye.
Pieces. All right, guys, we're at 2:35 in, so we still got plenty of time till said faction. I just got to pull it up because they're in such a weird freaking time zone. Let me go. Said faction. And tonight, I've got to watch it. I've got to stay awake, and I usually fade fast after this for some reason. I know Stevie was coming home today. He's been all over from Canada to. Is it on Stevie's channel or is it on Maddie's? Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm behind the wall here looking to see. All right, so it must be on Maddie's channel. Let's go to Maddie. Satisfaction. Huh. Upcoming, 2 waiting. What time? Let's see how many minutes we got. 44 minutes. We got all the time in the world, people. Lemmy, I 100% agree with that. I do not want to. I'm dealing with a dad that's just getting old, too old to be, and I don't want that for me. I think we've extended life kind of artificial. Oh, I will, buddy. I've got some stuff here. I would venture out to Taco Bell to load up on Mexican pizzas, but I know they'd be sold out or some other way break my heart. They're very good at doing that. Or not doing what they're supposed to do. But yeah, guys, I was going to show you. Let's see if I can pull it back up. Nope, I took it down. I'm going to do better videos showing how this TS Prof works. Because again, I think the base system's somewhere in the 300 range, which is not cheap. But if you're sharpening knives that are, expensive or a lot of knives, it makes sense, right? The Work Sharp Pro, I think, is like within 40 or 50 bucks of the TS Prof. And I just think the TS Prof is superiorly machined, done out of aluminum and steel. Just a really precision system. I've enjoyed it. One thing I wasn't crazy about, because I've always been used to bonded stones, which are the Veneve type stones or a diamond embedded stone. And the TS Prof came with diamond plates, which I tried on my first few knives, and they were just too coarse, or I didn't know how to use them right. But any of you guys that are members, channel members, stop in tomorrow for at least 15 minutes. I always like to give it 15 minutes for people to get in. I start the music about 10 till. I always go live right at 11 or right before. I usually wait for 11:15 to put up and what we're giving away tomorrow. And it's got the box. It's got everything. And it's actually been tuned up by me because it had a very strong detent and a late lockup. It's a limited edition S35VN Ochre Air Quaking. It's just an absolute banger. I've got the box. I've got the, I may have. May have hit that little pivot a little hard. Oh, let me back it out just a hair. I want it dropping shut. Shaking shut. So this will be the quick giveaway tomorrow. It is limited edition. I think it's one out of. Got to get my handy dandy magnifying glass because my old eyes can't read that number. Number 467. So I don't know if that was out of 500 or out of what, but this was donated to the channel by a viewer member who will remain nameless unless they want to speak up. But it was very much a DKSSF to give away to one of you guys. It's a very cool knife. It reminds me of the CEO, except to me, it's a more aggressive blade. And I like that. More of a Slurpee saver. Great knife. And it did have, when it first came in, it locked up like almost all the way over. Now it's stopping at about 35, 40. And the detents was very, very tight. Now it's very snappy. It'll sometimes lock up at about 50, but I have spine whacked the shit out of this knife because I don't give away knives that aren't safe, but you have to use it at your own discretion, of course. Because I do dumb stuff with knives all the time. That's why lately I haven't cut myself in quite a while. But that doesn't mean that that won't change. Where did I set my screwdriver? There it is. Richard, you're not anonymous? Richard is the man. I usually keep it down on the down low, but I love it when they want to. I mean, guys, I love giving away knives, and I've done it since my first live. I've always given away a knife. I used to just go every regular live because I didn't have member lives or didn't have memberships. But over the years, and I'm going to do a video on it, healthy knife collecting, which I didn't participate in initially and probably still don't. But I bought over the years, and my first 2 years in the hobby was all Civivis, Kaisers, titanium Kaisers, Ashers, you name it. I mean, Devos, all kinds of knives. And when I'm not carrying them a lot, it's great to find giveaways. And then when a viewer reaches out and say, hey man, I've got a couple of knives I'm not carrying, you think you could give them away? Absolutely. And there was a situation, I don't have it here, but I fell in love with a knife, a smaller version of the Kaiser Hurricane or the Kaiser harpoon. The mini harpoons turned into one of my favorite little EDC fixies in 3V. Just in time, Kaiser makes a great knife. And I'll be the first to tell you, you don't have to chase the more quote unquote hyped knives because they're nice. I've done it. I mean, I like having a few nice knives, or I've got a bunch of nice knives, but they don't cut any better than any of my Kaisers. And I've still got the Mini Momo. I've got a prototype titanium October. I've got an old, when I say old, the old Blade series, which is titanium, full size Matthew Christensen Kaiser Critical. I've got a Kaiser Clutch, which is about a 4-year-old knife. Kaiser Gemini. These are knives you don't see anymore. They're out of production, but they're all ones I've held on to. And I've given away probably 60 Kaisers, bunch of Civivis. And I just enjoy doing it because if they don't do any good in my case. That's what I've got, Hearn. I've got the Ultim, the black, and the 3V, and I just love the sliciness of it. I love the way it feels in my hand. I'm a big fan of Maverick Customs. What you talking about, Joseph? Which knife y'all talking about? Let me go up here and see. Thank you, Richard. You are the man. Yeah, I've got I bought a knife from Shane. I'm buying a knife from Shane, and I'm just torn. They are the Gold Box series, and I don't know what they call that, Paul. They don't call it the Gold Box series, but they come in gold boxes. And I'll tell you who else, my most impressed, and I've not handled one, so I'm speaking out of my ass, but the Kubi, what would you call it? Their Premier system or Premier models, like the knife that Hobeck was selling for 600 that you can now get for under 300, the Sumo. Let me share something with you real quick. And it's not called Kubi, it's called KB. So let me go KB knives. KB knives. Sumo. Boom. There it is. Share this. So this is Kubi Premier line. And I don't know if y'all remember this is about 3 years ago, and this knife was big. It was a Jake Hobeck, allegedly USA made knife with multiple deployments. Has a flipper, thumb studs, flipper tab, button lock. Super nice knife. Lefty loved it. Turns out a bunch of shit came out, and it turned out it wasn't made in America. It was an imported knife. And now I think we all know who the OEM was, because these knives, I've seen people review them, and they're identical, down to everything except the pivot. So this is a Kubi Hobeck collaboration. It's $270. He was selling the same knife for right around 600 because he says he wasn't misleading people, but he was making every indication that they were USA made. And he makes a lot of knives on the that are American knives. But that one and there are others too, because he came out and allegedly listed them off. I didn't pay attention to it at that point. But there's another one that's a bigger version of the Sumo. I forget what it's called. Let me go. Let's do this. Let's go. Hoback Sumo. And guys, this is the exact same knife, but I want you to look at the price. And this one's been slashed because they had some in stock. The Blade HQ had them on sale for $475. And I want you to look at the pivot shape is identical. Clip is identical. Color patterns are identical. I think that was the OEM of this knife. But it was originally, I want to say 550. And then Blade HQ, let's see what. Oh, and then 270 through Kubi. But there was another. Trying to find what it was originally listed for. Not gonna say. Anyway, they were macho, made in the USA. Still on the listing, which it's not. That makes me mad, guys. Paul, I'd have no problem. Timber, I'm not interested right now in designing anything folding per se. I've got a couple of things that I think would be cool and small fixed blades, but I don't have anything immediately on the horizon. I'm just a guy who likes knives. If I came up with something that I thought was cool, that was different, like Manufacturing does, I mean, that guy designs knives. The Summit. Yeah, and you know what I'm guessing, Manufacturing? Hold out, and Kubi will offer it, their premium brand, and it'll probably be under $300. Because the Sumo came out probably 6 months before that bigger one did. Good to see you, buddy. We're just killing time till y'all go live because I'm hoping to hear some stories tonight. And Rumble hosed us. Not that it matters. Good to see you, buddy. But the Summit's the one I was talking about. Let me pull it up. It's the bigger one. Go back. Summit. And they, I think, were on sale somewhere. On the Summit. Yeah, that's it. Oh, they're still. All right, this is crazy, guys. Because again, I'm not nobody except somebody who likes knives. But this knife was also, because of the fasteners, some of the other things, proven to be not of USA descent, right? It's made by Kubi because it looks so much like they still got it. Designer, country of origin, China. They did change the country of origin, but it's still $625 when we know Kubi will have it for under $300. And they're doing a lot of collaborations with Jake. But that's a beautiful knife. You know what it reminds me of, Maddie? It reminds me of my Max Ace Babylon. But I love that it's a frame lock. The frame lock does it for me. Frame lock's my favorite. Tim Burr, the Phoenix is awesome. I donated mine to a brother who was going through a tough time with a lot of other people in the community because I thought I'd cheer him up. But I miss it. What is up, Tim? Good to see you guys. But yeah, I don't know if Maddie, if you were in here earlier, if you ever mess with affiliate links, but I use a lot of different platforms because like Blade HQ, Kaiser, Concept, Bosty, they all use a platform called Share a Sale. And you just go in there, you get your affiliate partners, and then you can go in there and copy links and put them in videos. I got banned. I got banned from an affiliate program, and it's a non-reversible ban. And it pisses me off because it says irregular activity on my account. And all I ever do with share sale is if I'm ever linking a knife, I will go in there and find a company that has it and then link the damn thing. It's not brain surgery. It's not like I'm doing anything manipulative with the links. And I went back and I read their terms of service. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. But I have blacked all those out. Where is it? Hold on a second. I was going to show you the letter they sent me back. I thought it was kind of rude. I can tell it's a form letter. Let's go. Where are my messages? Damn it. Make me mad. All right, here we go. So I'm going to share this with you guys. So I went to log on last week and it just said, hey, sorry, your account's been banned. And I'm getting kicked off of Linktree, which is fine. And this is fine too. But so I sent them an email that said, I'm just curious. I was real nice. Hello, can you please help? I have an account, blah, blah, blah. I attempted to log in and I'm told my account is suspended. And they sent me a thing, say we're going to look into it. And then today I get an email, dear affiliate, following a review of your account activity, we have identified irregularities that are not compliant with our standard publisher terms. The publishers that I work with are their advertisers. As a result, your account will remain suspended and any pending payouts are halted in accordance with our terms and conditions as per clause 15, blah, blah, blah. Additionally, please consider this email as 1 month's written notice about, and the funny thing is, I'll tell you the funny thing. And then they go, after which you will no longer be able to operate as an affiliate on the Share Sale network. The decision is final and will not be reversed. Kind regards, blah, blah, blah. Share Sale owned by a win. So the funny part of the story is I've known that Share Sale was merging or they were going away and a win had bought them. So they wanted everybody to migrate over. Well, I migrated over last week after my ban and was accepted as an affiliate, but I can't find any of the knife companies that I was following, not a one. So I'm wondering if it's a knife thing. None of the other guys in the YouTube group have ever had it happen. But there's nothing that I could have done short of copying their link and posting it in my YouTube video. And I've read their terms and conditions. It's just total bullshit. I think maybe somebody that was disgruntled with me went in there and reported me. I think I was tactical llama. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, even better by a mile. Nice, nice, make me smile. Absolutely, absolutely. And Satisfaction, it's just like we were talking about tonight. So much of it is just being honest and transparent, you know? Why not say, this is a knife I designed. China can do a better job with their machining capabilities right now. I really want this knife to be special. I don't have the capacity to make it this way. So this is what I'm going to do. It's still going to be this much money. You don't even have to change the dollar, but just say what it is. And I don't think by not coming forward with it, that you can be guilty by not saying anything and just letting people like USA Made Blades sell your knives. And we know they only sell USA Made blades. But that just shows you that drama comes, drama goes. You just got to keep your head up and don't get drawn into that shit. And just in time, what's weird about this community, I've only been in it for, I say only now, it's been probably close to 5 years, if not right over 5 years, where I was in chats, "Hey, Roman M," and just enjoying the community. Because again, I've got ADHD. I fall into hobbies deep and heavy, and then I bail on them. But literally, the people that I've met in this community is why I've stayed engaged. It's not because of the knives. The knives don't excite me as much anymore. I like them. I love them, but it's more about the people for me. But I think there's always going to be drama, people being or feeling mistreated. A lot of cases, they are mistreated, and there's always two sides in the middle. Um, the fortunate or the unfortunate thing is the community forgets. Um, the community forgives. Um, and they should in a lot of cases, right? Some cases, not as maybe handily, and everybody's got their own personal moral compass, right? That's going to dictate how egregious you think player A or player B was. My thought is there's always going to be somebody embroiled in drama. And I think it's our jobs, just like it is in a community of knife aficionados, people that like knives that have differences, but try to stick together on their common loves, their common likes, things that they enjoy together. That's the bottom line when it comes to, I think, small makers that a lot of times can get in over their head. You know, it's just, I just don't know. It can be a bad situation, but not be a malicious situation, if that makes any sense. There's been so much that I remember. Absolutely. And you know what? Just in time, it should. It absolutely should leave a bad taste in people's mouths because, like Scotch was so accurately stating, Steve's been big to call people out. Now, I think he's made positive impacts on what we as end users get from manufacturers that Steve's called out. And I think that takes courage to put yourself out there. And then to be a maker, this doesn't take up for any of the bullshit. The bullshit's bullshit, but it takes courage, right? It's just, I think it goes back to a lot of our knife makers are great artisans, great craftsmen, but they might not have the best business sense. They might not be people. They might be, I'm very guilty now, unfortunately or fortunately in my business, always had to face issues first thing in the morning. They wouldn't wait, right? But I hate confrontation. I hate it. It just, even if I'm, clearly in the right, I just don't dig it. We're just talking, Roman. We're killing time till Maddie goes live in, hold on. Let's see where it goes live. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I think we're getting close, guys. Satisfaction. 3 people waiting. Looks like Sharice's going to be in there. I missed Sharice's birthday stream. Live in 20 minutes. Hey, Paul, or just in time, there's a video that was put up tonight. We watched part of it. I'm going to go back and watch it because it looks like Steve was having a rebuttal video and Witty came and joined him. And when we joined it, it was towards the end, but evidently they talked back and forth. They both have their own, I guess, realities maybe, or see if this is it. All right. So if any of y'all want to go back and watch what we watched earlier with Steve Kalari, a guy who I think he's a nice guy. I don't think he's dishonest or a thief. I think he got in over his head. I don't think he was ever planning to continue to screw Witty. Yes, taking a year and doing other knives, unexcusable. Sounds like Witty's made a plan to kind of at least put it behind him, right? But that link there is a live from earlier, where my understanding it was the last words about it. I was, Roman. That's what that video is. That video is Clara started his kind of rebuttal video tonight, just telling his side, not blaming anybody else, taking responsibility for it. And then Witty from USA Made Blades joined him, and they talked back and forth for 30 minutes, maybe longer. We got in kind of late on it. But yeah, we got a couple of minutes. I'll give you the gist of it, and we'll fast. I don't know how to fast forward Instagram videos. Do y'all know how to fast forward Instagram videos? Where's my sound? Where's my sound? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Reggie. Original audio. Go to post. Don't let me hear it. There's no way to fast forward these videos, is there? Y'all go watch it, because where's Fed? What's up with Fed? Fed, dude, it could be a goiter. It could be something so simple that you can get relief with. I'm praying for you, brother. I know that's terrifying, but you hang in there, dude, and know the community is here for you, there for you if you need us there for you. I don't go to them unless I know how scary that is, buddy. But I got a feeling that you'll find out that it's not as scary as you think. I'll never forget, and then we'll go to Maddie. I was dating my ex-wife at the time, and I had this thing on my neck that was kind of like a boil, I guess. It was ingrown hairs or something on the back of my neck. And I'd been at the drugstore, and they had this stuff called drawing salve. Have y'all ever heard of what a salve is? It evidently pulls the poison to the top of like a boil. So anyway, I went to bed. I put this shit on my neck. I woke up, and it was like I had a freaking golf ball. No, more like a T-ball sticking out of my neck, flipping out, right? It was hot. It had a fever. So I went to the doctor that morning, went down there. They cut it out, biopsied it, packed gauze down in the hole so it would heal from the inside. And dude, that wasn't a goiter, but that was some freaking painful shit. Because I could not believe the void of the hole it left in my neck. It could be a eustachian tube in your ear that's infected. It could be a tooth, dude. There's so many much better outcomes. And we're all pulling for you, Ed. So that's got to have some good power. Plus, they say only the good die young, buddy. Absolutely. A sebaceous cyst. Because if they get against a nerve, but any of you guys who are members, please come by tomorrow at 11. We'll keep it short. Do the drawing about 11:15. I'm there to hang out, but I know everybody has stuff to do. But y'all stop in. I know there are other lives, but we will be quick. Just in time. That's what I heard too. But then Witty, I thought was more than fair and said, Steve, I'll give you a year. And the way I look at it, Steve's got 20 knives that Witty paid wholesale for. Okay, this is just business 101. Witty probably doubled the prices of those knives when he sold them. So Steve can sell those knives for retail or $50 off retail and take the profits from those knives he was going to send to Witty and just make payments off of them because he's going to be making more off the knives now. He'll probably net closer to $5,000 than he would selling them wholesale. And he said tonight that it's going to be hard for me to sell them with my reputation the way it is. I don't think that's the case. I think there are enough people who know Steve, who know the difference in character and fear of confrontation. I don't think Steve ever planned on not delivering knives to Witty and just, I think he was trying to make it happen, and was going to eventually make it happen. Not at the time frame that's acceptable to any of us. But if we look back through pre-sales that have gone bad, I mean, not the first time, not the last. I'm praying for you, brother. Guys, we're going to ease out. Everybody, put your thoughts, your prayers, any kind of positivity you've got. Let's send it to Brother Ed Harrison, and do me a favor. Continue to look out for your guy or gal to your left, the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. And no matter how much your differences seem, choose debate, not hate. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love each and every one of you. See you at Maddie's.